What up, what up, what up? Happy Friday to everybody and all, and what up to you, Coop? How you doing, sir?
I present to everybody according to Hip Hop After Dark with Michael.
Yeah, man, the internet went off at the crib, so, I had to do the show at a undisclosed location. So, you know, we'll see how this goes, but I think we're going to have a really good show today, man.
I do too. This is like one of those hip hop head kind of like fun kind of shows, which we
Right.
kind of we're fortunate enough to do when it's like kind of like a slower release day
Right,
or
right.
it's notable release day. So
So we're
I
gonna
think
to shout out to everybody coming in the room. Everybody's coming in. People said finally, yes. I had some cable issues at the crib, so like I said, I had to do this at an undisclosed location. But we got stronger internet than ever. Anyway, yes, we're gonna be talking about some of the albums that came out this year. We're gonna do it in a different way because it's so much quality material. I know in previous episodes, Coop has expressed the fact that we got a lot of 4.25s and a lot of 4.5s. And we're just going to stack them up and see how everything works out and links
mostly
up.
fours.
Mostly fours? Yes.
Yeah, mostly fours. It's not even really. It's not really a lot of. That's why we're gonna have to start breaking it down, and why we want to do like some comparisons, and not criticisms, but just comparisons, like to albums that could possibly be in the same vein and are possibly on the same level. I think we tried to keep the artists together, so we're kind of gonna bounce around and do that. We kind of try to keep it relative and relevant to what the artist does the best that we could.
Somebody said y'all heard 7 shots. 7 shots is fire. What are 7 shots?
That's that 38 speech that I was talking about.
Oh, yes, yes. See, I didn't get around to that today. I got to the other album you were telling me about,
That's to the
Long
shade.
Live DJ Shay.
Yeah.
What did you think about the 38 speech 7 shots? Because everybody's talking about how fire it is.
It was fire. Like I didn't get to the end because I listened to the Shade twice. I mean, truthfully, I think we may have had two possible album of the year contenders drop today.
Mm. I really like the Long Live DJ Shay.
It's
I
dope ass
really
projects.
liked it. I really,
You
and I heard what you said about Armani Caesar, man. I'm looking
hear that
forward to her
verse?
album, man. I'm really looking forward to her album. She sounds
You
good.
So here was one of my thoughts. She has the best female rap voice. Benny has the best male rap voice. They sound so dope together every time they get together. I would really love to hear a project of those two because just vocally, it's going to give you what you desire. You know that we have the production and the team around them to build it. Every time they get together, it comes off well. And she's even becoming a closer.
She is. I've seen that a couple of times now on the West
She's
Side
becoming a
Gun record.
closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the person that you go to close out a record at this point. I fuck
Mhm.
with Armani Caesar, and is it officially going to be called the Liz too? Is that the official name of it?
Yeah, I think it's been dubbed the Liz too.
Okay, because I know
But
we've been calling it that. I wasn't sure if that was just something that was put out there or that was official. I'm looking forward to it. For me,
no, I am.
that's one of the
Yeah,
more anticipated albums.
I feel like as an MC, she has arrived
I think so too.
and like come into who she is, which is what we talked about. Like, remember on the first album, I was like, I see somebody that actually has like a potentially long career, and it's like starting to all come to fruition. Like, I was super impressed with the verse. I was super impressed with Benny's work on here as
Oh
well.
yeah, Benny did his
Don't want to
thing on
slight
it.
him at all. But yeah,
Yeah.
Benny got busy on here. I was like, okay, it made me think it's like, okay, some lyricists of the year type of noteworthy performances he's been putting in this year. We can't forget about him, you know?
Andrea Green with the super chat says, "Peace Kings," referring to the last episode. Y'all ever seen Petey Crack's interview on Doggy Diamonds where he said that Oskino and Young Chris assist Beans with punchlines on the Jada disc? What do you think?
Um, so that's the first time that I've heard of that. I would love to see like the link and like hear that because it feels really, really, really fluid.
I mean, the thing is, what is help, right? And I think that when we talk about help, it could be somebody in the studio throwing you ideas or say this. Like I think maybe like lines like, for example, spitting candy bar, this nigga sweeter than a Hershey kiss. That could be something that came up in a conversation or something. And I think that when it comes to
But that's what you do when you
it
rap in studio
is.
with
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. And I think when it comes to this whole word help, it gets looped in with ghostwriting or I wrote your shit because it's a lot of all of that going on in hip hop.
Yeah, because what's his name? Pharrell helped Busta with Pass the Cavassier, but
Right.
it's like, well, you're the producer. You're supposed to.
Right. People are like, "Where's Mike?" I'm at an undisclosed location because
I
I had
told
some
y'all.
outages.
It's according to Hip Hop After Dark.
Yo, I was listening to the Star Report the other day, and he brought up something I thought was so dope. He said, "Oh man, I got hold on real quick. Y'all see that? It's Old Dirty playing in the background, Brooklyn Zoo. Anyway,
Great.
he said that Queens has the most successful MCs. And I was like, you know what? That's the truth. Queens has the most successful, like Brooklyn, I think Brooklyn per capita, not to take Talib saying, has the best MCs. But if we talk about the most notable and the most successful, you got Run DMC, you got LL, you got Ja Rule, you got 50 Cent, you got Nas, you got Salt and Pepper, you got Kid and Play. I mean, it's over right there.
As far as the success goes, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the LL50 Nas Run DMC is enough to do you, actually.
Yeah, it is. And then you throw Ja Rule in there. Like, we never really talk about, I mean, because I know people talk about record sales and stuff in hip hop. And honestly, I don't think we should anymore. That's why all this game talk about him not selling records, I think, is null and void. But we need to do a borough for borough record sales. And yeah, people saying Q-Tip, Mobb Deep. Yeah. Yeah, Tribe in there. Mob in there. Honestly,
I was actually thinking about Q-Tip too.
Honestly, man, Long Island might end up being third.
Actually, and think about this: Capone and Noriega too, because of Noriega now with Drink Champs. We're talking about like how your success like spans like in the whole sphere of it. Like
yeah. I mean, I think Nori sold some records too.
Who?
I think Nori sold some records too.
Yeah,
I think nothing was.
Times.
Yeah,
got quite a few gold plaques. I think some platinum sitting around in there too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nikki, thank you. Yes.
Oh, it's over.
It's over. I think Queens has sold more records than any of the boroughs by far. I don't even think it's close.
I'm thinking just the overall success and the spanning of it. Think about the other things that people like LL and Nas and 50 and Nicki are into that's not in hip hop. That's what I mean when I think of success. It's like, well, Nas is becoming like a small time tech giant. 50's into TV and film.
Yeah.
LL does what he wants when he feels like it.
Right. LL does everything. And LL is the commercial game anyway. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and then not to mention again Run DMC. I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think who are the most successful Brooklyn MCs, like as far as like outside of just record sales and like you said, just doing everything.
I mean, it's Jay, obviously.
And then where do you
go? Fascinating. Because Big never really became the success that he should for obvious reasons.
Right. Is it Busta Rhymes or is Busta Rhymes Long Island?
Ask Busta that at this point, but I thought it was Brooklyn with Busta.
Busta's Jamaica. That's what Busta is. Flipper with the super chat says Mike background looked like the Vibe Death Row cover. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm farther away from my computer. Yeah, this does look like the Death Row cover. I'm kind of digging this background too, man. I figured that I throw the microphone in here as well. Might as well.
No, I am wearing red. You are wearing black.
I was actually wearing red before, and then I changed. So yeah, that would have really worked. Death Row East. We always find a way to have Death Row East in the show. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting, though. Really interesting conversation, and the fact that Queens has the most successful acts. And I honestly would say Long Island might be number 2.
I think that might be
Public Enemy there.
Yeah, Rakim.
EPMD was very
EPMD.
successful. De La Soul.
I feel like we're missing some important
I
people
feel
from
like
Long
we are
Island.
too. I mean, we can count Busta, I guess. Somebody said Busta is more Long Island, but his roots are in Brooklyn. I thought his roots were in Jamaica. Let me stop.
See, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, they move around so much. Like, Raekwon used to family. He was coming up in Brownsville first,
No,
in
real,
Brooklyn, before they moved to Staten Island. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nas was born in Brooklyn.
Well, shout out to Queens, man. Queens, like I said, I think when we had that debate before, we were talking about the MCs in Brooklyn, but you really don't think about the success of Queens MCs, and I think that's dope. Did you see that poster we had on According to Hip Hop where we matched up the albums from 94, 98, 95, and I think it was 96?
No.
A lot of people are saying 98 was the year. And let me go down the line real quick. Because I know somebody was talking about 95 wasn't what we were saying it was. Here's what 95 looks like. Mr. Smith, Purple Tape, Liquid Swords, Dirty Version, Dirty's album. You got Do You Want More from the Roots? You got The Infamous. You got Me Against the World. You got Soulful by Goody Mob. You got Big L's debut album. You got Lab Cab California from The Pharcyde. The show soundtrack's on there, actually. 8 Ball and MJG, Sitting on Top of the World. AZ's album is on there. His debut, Do or Die. You got East 1999 on there. You got Group Home's debut on there.
Living Proof.
Yep, Living Proof. And then you got E40 on there. I feel like I'm missing.
Major Way?
Yeah, the Major Way's on there. Yep.
With Sprinkle Me?
Yep. I feel like I'm missing something still. Hold on. It was a out because I put the show soundtrack on there instead of something else. And I feel like 95 is just super deep. You know what I mean?
Play that 98 list. What's that 98 list look like?
I'm going to go to the 98 list. Oh, DJ Quick. That was what we were missing on 95. And you got the Dog Pound in 95 as well.
Which book is that? Is that Safe and Sound in 95?
Safe and Sound's in 95.
Ooh,
you got Dog Food in 95. You got KRS-One's self-titled album in 95. 95's deep as hell, man.
That's a banger. That KRS-One and them Quick albums, those are bangers.
98 looks like Akumenai, Moment of Truth, Black Star's album, Volume 2. We got Miseducation of Lauryn Hill on there. You got Capital Punishment. You got Redman's Doc's the Name on there. You got ELE from Busta Rhymes on there. You got Darkest Hell is Hot by DMX. You got Flesh of My Flesh by DMX. You got Still Standing by Goody Mob. El Nino by Def Squad. Scarface Homies. You got Capadonna's The Pillage. You got 400 Degrees by Juvenile. And you got Don Cartagena by Fat Joe.
That's not enough.
It's not enough? See, this is my problem with 94. Let me go through 94. It's very top heavy. 94 is The Diary. You got J-Ro the Damager. Sunrise in the East. You got Hard to Earn. Then we got UGK with Super Tight. Then you got Illmatic. Then you got Ready to Die. Then you got Main Ingredient. You got Resurrection. Blowout Comb by Diggable Planets. The Thug Life album is on there. We got Takao on there. You got Grave Diggers albums on there. You got Southern Playalistic. You got Redman's There's a Dark Side on there.
That doesn't sound top heavy at all. That sounds great.
It's great.
It sounds better than 98.
You think it's better than 98?
94, first of all, 95 and 98 is not a conversation. 94 and 98 is a more fair conversation, but that 94 shit's better than that 98 shit. Because after you get past Aquemini, It's Dark and Hell is Hot.
What's the weak links on 98?
It's not like there's weak links, Mike, but do you think ELE is comparable to or comparable to The Main Ingredient? Like, keeping it real? You have nothing for Illmatic.
I'm going to be honest, man.
You have nothing for Illmatic. You have nothing for Ready to...
I'm disappointed in Busta Rhymes right now, but I'm going to keep it real. I love both albums. I love ELE and I love Main Ingredient. I might pick ELE over Main Ingredient. That hurts
Okay,
me.
how about this? How about this? There is a dark side or Doc's the name.
Well, that's There's the Dark Side.
See what I'm saying?
You're right.
What you got for Illmatic? You want to? I mean, Illmatic or what? It's
Illmatic or
dark and hell is
Kumini.
hot.
That's my match for Illmatic or Kumini.
Okay, still losing. Still losing.
I disagree, but okay.
See, this is what I'm saying. Here's why Illmatic's the greatest rap album ever, because at least on the MC side, how much help did he have?
No, I feel you on that.
One verse from AZ.
I feel
Everybody's on Aquemini. I mean, I love Aquemini. You know how I feel about it.
No, if we talk about individual performance, I mean, that's hard to refute because what Nas did on Aquemini, I mean, not Aquemini.
No.
Illmatic is Illmatic. But Aquemini is a team effort, and we always talk about the fact that the best albums are made with collectives.
No. Southern Playalistic versus Aquemini, seeing how they came out in 94 and 98. Same thing we did with Redman, we do with OutKast.
That's cool. Aquemini's beating that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, all right. So what's the solo effort in 98? Volume 2? That's a compilation.
No, it's Dark and Hell is Hot.
Oh, it's Dark and Hell is Hot.
But I have Ready to Die in the stash. That's what I'm saying.
Ready to Die would have to go up against Volume 2. Or Capital Punishment.
Hey, hold on. First of all, I wouldn't want to do that to either one of those albums to hurt their classic status by playing it next to Ready to Die.
Okay.
For real.
So you're telling me, because I'm picking
Volume 2 and Capital Punishment don't even want no smoke with Ready to Die. It's Dark and Hell is Hot and Ready to Die, or is a more of a fair comparison.
I'm picking Moment of Truth of a Hard to Earn.
You might as well take that L.
I'm picking Moment of Truth of a Hard to Earn. I'm picking Black Star over Super Tight. Is that fair?
Hold on, Black Star over what?
Over Super Tight from UGK.
No, we should be comparing the Black Star to the Do You Want More by the Roots.
No, that was 95.
Oh, shit. Hold on. So
there's always discrepancy with that. I don't know. That might be one of those incognito situations where it's like some of them were pressed in 94 and it came out in 95. So,
right. Okay, that's fine. Keep going.
Let's see. I'm picking Still Standing over Super Tight. You want to put Goody Mob up against Super Tight? Like,
that's fair. You're right. I mean,
I'm putting Laurin Hill up against Illmatic. How about that?
Still losing.
Yeah,
don't want no smoke.
That's losing. Let's see.
Huff and Puff.
I'm trying to see what El Nino should go up against. Blowout Comb? That's not fair to Blowout Comb.
I was thinking maybe Funknified by the Brat. You didn't bring that up. You didn't bring up the Sunrises in the East by J. Rue the Damager. You get what I'm saying? It's too much in 94.
The Sunrise in the East, I was thinking Gangstar, but they had an album, so I thought that
Gangstar had an album that year. That's what I'm saying. What you got beat-wise for Living Proofs? Group Home.
400 Degrees. How about that?
Lab Cabin, California. No, that's 95. Lab Cabin, California is 95. That shit was dope. Lab Cabin, California is highly slept on.
You want to see what 96 was like?
I know 96 like the back of my hand. That was my
this is what I got in the picture. We got All Eyes on Me. We got It Was Written. We got Reasonable Doubt. You got Iron Man. You got ATL. You got Machiavelli. You got Philadelphia Half-Life. You got Stakes is High. We got Beats, Rhymes, and Life. Riding Dirty. The Coming. Muddy Waters. Hardcore. The Score. Hell on Earth, and Nocturnal, and I'm sure there's some other things left out.
It's like getting Pimp Slap. It's like getting Pimp Slap with a bunch of classics.
Yeah. Mad Max with the super chat says, to be honest, just looking at the list, I'm taking 96. That Machiavelli album, Pac dropped, has aged amazing. Plus, you got It Was Written, aged amazing. Reasonable Doubt, and All Eyes on Me. It's too much. Yeah, the Score, we're not even mentioning that. People not even mentioning ATLiens.
ATLiens?
You know, a lot of people feel like ATLiens is Kaz's best album, you know, and I mean, I don't feel that way. But
it's a classic.
It is. It is. It just came out in a very, very heavy year. Do you think, I know you talk about the production on Reasonable Doubt. How well do you think Reasonable Doubt is aged? And would you say that Reasonable Doubt, well, all right, let me ask you this. What 3 Jay-Z albums, in your opinion, have aged the best?
I don't know if I could parse that out right now because that wouldn't be fair to him and his catalog to just answer that off the top of the head. because I would really have to sit down and go through his catalog again a little bit more. But to the Reasonable Doubt comment, here's how I feel about Reasonable Doubt is that when I was younger, because of how groundbreaking it was, like when I was in college at Greensboro at UNCG, this is 19. You have to understand some of this stuff that we're calling classic now, it hadn't aged like this yet. Like some of the stuff was fresh, like Aquemini, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, Capital Punishment, all that stuff, Moment of Truth, it was still fresh. We were still playing that when I was going to college. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So my top 5 around the time when I was about 18 was Illmatic, Ready to Die, Southern Playalistic, Reasonable Doubt, and The Purple Tape. You have to understand, Life After Death had already came out. You know what I'm saying? Aquemini had already came out. You know, Volume 2 had already came out. Volume 1 and 2 had came out. Matter of fact, Volume 3 came out. Jay was working. Volume 3 came out by the time I went to college. I was like, he came out the summer before my 10th grade year. By the time I was a freshman in college, he was on album number 4. So he was at work.
He was working.
He was working. He got classic stuff all through there. That's what I mean. It's hard to say.
And you know what? And it's funny you say that, but the way he worked made Reasonable Doubt feel older than it actually was.
So this is what
you know what I mean. Like in 2000, it felt like, yo, man, this dude is a vet, but it's like only 4 years in.
So how about this? Here's what I would tell you. Of those 5 albums that I've named, the only one of those albums the only albums that held in my top 5 were Illmatic and The Purple Tape. Southern Playalistic, Ready to Die, and Reasonable Doubt all slid back to various places. I think Southern Playalistic probably took the furthest slide, though, because if I was ranking it out, I would still have Ready to Die as a top 15 rap album all time. Maybe top 10, depending on how you look at it. I would still have Reasonable Doubt in my top 20 to 25, but I don't know quite where I would have Southern Playalistic being objective.
I want to say something
on a personal
about
level,
that.
still top 5, but on an objective level, probably somewhere closer to 40 or 50. So Southern Playalistic was probably my top 5 album from my youth that fell back the furthest, but that has a lot to do with AT Aliens and Equipment.
Exactly. I was going to say that. Let me get to these super chats. Inspector said 96 hip hop was as classic as the 96 NBA draft. Great draft. One of the best. What I was going to say, man, when you said it like that, and I was thinking the same thing before you even said it, a lot of where we slid Southern Playalistic to has a lot to do with who the group became after the fact. Now, I still got Southern Playalistic ahead of AT Aliens, but there's a lot of people who don't. And Aquemini and AT Aliens show us that these guys are a whole different group than that group that we knew from that first album. And saying all that to say, what if they would have done what Black Star did and just put out Southern Playalistic and vanished for 24 years? We would be holding Southern Playalistic higher than we actually do. And when you go out there and follow it up, and you go out there and make an album, I don't think AT Aliens is better, but I think that they're better on AT Aliens, right? And Aquemini is clearly better. And so when you do those things, the debut album or whatever, you kind of put it in context. And we never got an opportunity to put the Black Star album in context.
Well, so there's a couple things. Musically, I would submit to you that production-wise, I don't feel like AT Aliens or Southern Playalistic that there's any true difference production-wise. They're both brilliant in different ways for different reasons.
You said in Southern Playalistic and AT Aliens?
Yeah, production-wise. Like, I would put them on comparable levels for different reasons, though. Like, the things that I love production-wise about AT Aliens, I love the drums. I love the boom bap and the hip-hop initiative of it. You know what I'm saying?
I love the live instrumentation of Southern Playalistic. I think
that's
Southern
what I was
Playalistic.
about to say. I'm about to say I love the instrumentation and the experimenting that's going on Southern Playalistic.
I was gonna give the experimentation to AT Aliens. I think that
no. I mean, see, that's what I'm saying. So when you're saying experimentation, it's like experimentation on what? Because that's the album where they're on some rap shit, Mike.
Extraterrestrial is the.
That's the only song that's really like that, where they're experimenting like that, though. That's what I mean. The rest of it is really on some rap shit. Outside of that, Extraterrestrial and him doing the humming thing on Millennium. You know what I'm saying? that's the experimental part of that. Southern Playalistic, for a Southern rap album to sound that funky and that street at that time, part of why I love it so much is because it encapsulated a time in the early part of the 90s in Atlanta on a street level that you don't hear really anywhere else in terms of how good it sounds production wise. So that's what makes it special, because they immediately switched their ethos, so none of the other albums sound street like that.
You're right.
And so that's what makes it so classic to me in a lot of ways. But some of their best moments, like their OutKast moments, there's more of their OutKast moments on ATL, and Southern Playalistic is like a highlight reel.
I feel like Elevators is experimental too.
Maybe,
especially when you think of where they were.
That sounds like some Southern Player shit, Mike. Me and you, your mama, and your cousin too.
I mean, I guess the production style, it was like this was a far cry from what the first album was. I think the fact that they just totally flipped the script was experimental in itself.
Well, that's part of the degree of difficulty points with ATLians, where it kind of balances out. It's like, look how they flipped the script and did so fucking good at doing it. It was really good how they did it.
I know you said something about the Black Album being your favorite. You like it more than the Blueprint, I think you said, right?
No, I consider the Blueprint to be like the highs of the Blueprint are higher, but from beginning to end, I enjoy listening to the Black Album more. I do.
I feel like, listen, I'll admit that the Black Album is better than American Gangster, but I actually enjoy American Gangster more. It's weird, right? Because,
I think those are the nuances about that's what I mean when you're talking about specifically about how his catalog is aged. It's like, well, I feel like that the Blueprint and Reasonable Doubt are appropriate timepieces too. I don't love how some of the production aged on Reasonable Doubt, but I mean, it's hard. Nobody talked like that before, so it's like when you go back and listen to it, you remember it's like, man, this is the first guy to drop the subject, verb, and the predicate for this rich nigga rhetoric, like this in detail. Yeah. It wasn't I make big monies, I drive big cars, everybody knows me. It's like I'm a movie star. He got to the nuances behind that whole bar and that whole motif. You know what I'm saying? Right. He lets you in. Like, nobody lets you in like that. Not even G-Rap. Because, like, here's the thing about it. G-Rap lets you in, but he lets you in on, like, all the aggressive and all the dangerous and exciting stuff that you wanted to hear.
I love the vocabulary, too, on Reasonable Doubt. And the fact that, and, I don't know if he did this by design, but the fact that Jay-Z never rapped like that ever again is what makes Reasonable Doubt that much more classic. It's like a fine wine or something that they're never gonna make again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that he, to some degree, a lot of that is, like he said, dumbing down his lyrics to double his dollars. But I think a lot of that also is to preserve that piece of work. Like, you're never gonna get that Jay-Z again. Like, bar for bar, lyric for lyric.
Here's the reality. When you're that great and you make something great like that, it's so hard to do it again that you are better off venturing into something else. Like, well, just to the Jay thing right quick, this is what I mean. Like, when he's talking on Dead Presidents, like, you had never heard nobody talk like that. I dabbled in crazy weight without rap. I was crazy straight. Partner, I'm still spending money from 88. 2 shots, close range, never touched me, divine intervention.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you're like, what? You're like, hold on, what? Like, when he's sitting up here, the way he's describing his lifestyle on Politics as Usual, no, it was different. It felt vulnerable.
Yeah.
Ain't no stopping the champagne from popping the draws, from dropping the law, from watching. I hate him.
I feel like he really let us in.
You felt like he hated them. Like, it was real. It was different. Nobody had ever hit you like that before. That's always going to be timeless.
I think he let us in, though. And you're right. It's those timeless themes. And I think that that's another reason why we love the Blueprint so much, is because he hit us there with songs like Song Cry and
Well, let's look at it. Reasonable Doubt and The Blueprint are the most highly regarded albums, but they have the most timeless things on them. Because even listen to the themes on Reasonable Doubt. Can't Knock the Hustle. Politics as Usual. Brooklyn's Finest. Feeling It. Can I Live? This is hustler rhetoric shit.
Yeah.
Can I Live?
Yeah. No,
Cashmere
definitely.
Thoughts, Regrets, Bring It On.
I love
This
Bring It
is
On.
that's what I'm saying. But just listen to the songs. Like listen to the Evils.
You know, I think I love American Gangster so much because I love Reasonable Doubt so much. And I feel like American Gangster is almost like I don't want to say a part two to Reasonable Doubt, but it's like, it's him revisiting that world from a different perspective and vantage point where it's like, no, I'm here now. And this is me talking on this stuff.
I see. I still felt like he did it. It's just like I don't know. He found different ways to do it, and that's what I always admire for him. Like he would give you A Week Ago on Volume 2, but then he would give you Dope Man on Volume 3.
I never liked Dope Man. A Week Ago is
You know what?
actually
You
one
just
of
don't
my
like the
favorite.
beat. He's great on Dope Man.
I think that A Week Ago though, is my personal favorite song on Volume 2. Ryan Gillen with the super chat says between Illmatic and Aquemini, which album would y'all say become more influential? Well, influential is Illmatic. Honestly, man, you know, as highly as I regard Aquemini, the influence factor is very
That's
low.
what hurts it. No, that's what hurts it up against the other classics of its ilk, actually. And what I would submit to you is that a Southern bias thing? Quite possibly, yes.
Well, I think that To Pimp a Butterfly is largely Aquemini influence, but the fact that Aquemini didn't influence a lot after it immediately and is regarded like that, they don't really put it out there like that. People will say that To Pimp a Butterfly is influenced by Tupac, but no, that's Aquemini influence right there.
You know, it can be both. It can be poetically inspired by Tupac and musically inspired by OutKast.
Okay. DJ Bruce Almighty with the super chat says, I turn on Can I Live? I'm on in the car and just close my eyes. That instrumentation is crazy. Yeah, shout out to Irv Gotti, man. Great record. I love the production on there, and I know you say it's simple and you know it's a loop, but
hold on, listen.
It encompasses everything.
But what's special about it is him is really what I was trying to say when he says stuff like, "We don't lease, we buy the whole car as you should." I was like, "Oh, that's what we're supposed to be doing." Nobody was talking like that, Mike.
Jay-Z's always been telling us what to do, man.
Right. It's like it's like that. No, that's what I mean. The insightfulness about how he was living.
Leroy Green said, "Dope Man is incredible."
Meet me at the crap tables by the one that starts a G up. This way no fraud, Willie pressing, gambling, they re-up. Yeah. And we can have a pleasant time sipping margaritas. It's like, oh, that's how he's living? Nobody was talking like that.
Jay Short with the super chat says, I think Jay being older on Reasonable Doubt gave him more depth. Definitely.
Yes, he was 27, 26, 27. Yeah, he was older than these dudes. And he was later than these dudes. These dudes were on album number 2 and were 2-3 years younger than him.
Man, Leroy Green said Dope Man's incredible. I think that's a stretch.
It's pretty.
Y'all like Dope Man like that? I need to go back and listen then. I mean,
the beat is really, you know what? The beats on Volume 3 held some really great moments from him, from being really, really special moments. And Dope Man is probably that moment that should have been more special had the beat been better. And not like it wasn't good, but it wasn't up to par with the bars.
I think that the production on Volume 3 is, it's one of his weaker production outputs.
Yeah, the beat selection on there wasn't stellar. He was definitely riding a wave of a lot of success and trendy beats that didn't hold up well.
Pop for Rock is awful.
Like the things that you do with Mariah Carey, that sounded so much better. Listen, that sounded so much better. My homeboy Trio follows us. Shout out to Trio. His family's down in Florida. Me and Trio went to college together. I remember him playing The Things That You Do in his Altima when we was in Greensboro. And it knocked so much harder and sounded so much better when I was like 19 years old, Mike.
Man, I didn't like it then. I was like, no.
No, it just sounded better in the whip. It's like when I play it now, it's like, man, I don't believe I used to ride with this in the whip with the homies.
Nah, man.
You know, but it was Jay.
That was those Rough Rider Volume 2 beats. I hate that album, man. Listen, D and Y, I love y'all. Y'all did some great work, man. I need my $12.99
You were
back.
still talking about this Ride or Die 2 stuff. I told you. When I flipped the back, you can go look at the songs selection and the names of the songs on Volume 1 versus Volume 2, and you know not to pick Volume 2 up. Shame on you.
I know, man, but you know how you always try to find something new. I mean, it's like I had heard Volume One so many times. I was like, man, Volume Two's out, and I think they had the "Got It All" song out with Eve and Jada, which was cool.
That wasn't enough.
I took a
Shame on
chance
you.
on it, man. I took a chance on a new album on the strength of the previous album. Bad mistake in the CD era.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, when I take risk like that, it's like sometimes I don't get what I want, but I still get stuff. Like OC's Word Life got me to cop Jules without listening to it. Jules isn't as good as Word Life, but it's still a pretty dope project.
Yeah, but again, man, I think the most upset I've ever been after buying a CD was Volume 2, Rough Riders compilation, and the Marshall Mathers LP. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be real, man. I mean, when I bought that, I think I threw it on the highway. I bought it from Sam Goody at Cumberland Mall the day it came out. I actually bought that and M Child at the same time. M Child from Memphis. I always wanted to support like a independent artist and a major artist at the same time, even back then. And yeah, man, I was like, I heard "I'ma kill you." I was like, man, I bought this. Jesus, what's the most upset you've been buying a CD in the CD era, where you're like, you know what, I shouldn't have bought this shit?
Goody Mob World Party.
Whoa. You know what? Now you want to talk about an album that sounds better now than it did when I bought it?
But
World Party
after
sounds
Soul
okay.
Food and Still Standing,
Nah, I feel
Mike,
you. I feel you. Nah, you're right.
I was so angry. That and what else I was thinking about? The Massacre by 50.
You bought the Massacre? I'm
did.
surprised.
You
So you
shouldn't
were
be.
part of the 50
Hold
wave.
Hold on. Do you remember you remember Eric Boyd?
That name sounds familiar.
Okay, so Eric is the only cat that's ever been my roommate other than family. You know what I'm saying? He's the only person I've ever lived with. I used to play Get Rich or Die trying so much that he literally came into my room one day and just like grabbed my shit and took the CD and I never saw it again.
So you bought the Massacre on the strength of Get Rich or Die Trying.
It's one of the greatest rap albums of all time. Of course I did. He was from Queens. I've been listening to 50 for a long time. Mike, he was on he was on those Braveheart mixtape. He was all that Nas mixtape stuff. He would pop up on there with Noriega and with Nature around that time. I had a copy of Power of the Dollar.
Reggie with the super chat says, if Jay-Z was to go back and rework 10 tracks where the lyrics were there but the production was lacking, what were those 10 tracks for you and Coop? I think there's a lot on Volume 1 that could be reworked. Volume 1's a strange album. If anything, I wouldn't really rework the quote-unquote tracks. I think, again, we're talking about sequencing and editing and things of that nature. Those are things I would do. Moment of Clarity is one that comes to mind because that beat is trash. But he's saying some things on there.
Who did the beat for Moment of Clarity? Just out of curiosity.
Man, come on, man. People know that. I'm not. I don't.
It's just very.
I don't want us to turn.
Very problematic.
Come on, man. Let's be real. Moment of Clarity is not the worst beat on the Black Album.
It is, but here's what I would tell you. I was more disappointed in DJ Quick's contribution because Quick is so much in a different league as Eminem is as a producer. So the results should be vastly different. So I didn't love Justify My Thug.
I didn't love Justify My Thug either. I don't think it's a bad beat, though. I just think it wasn't the best fit.
That's for damn sure. It ain't good.
Let's be real. How do you think? Because
that's Quick. He could have gave Jay something better than that.
I know you saw Fade to Black, and they were very selective in how they showed certain songs in the process, And they showed him go to Timberland. Timberland was playing some beats or whatever. I don't know if it went down like that. Maybe just Hollywood. Who knows? And they showed the whole Rick Rubin thing. How do you think that quick thing actually happened?
I
Because
think he got mailed in because he
I
couldn't get
feel
Dre.
like that. Yeah, I feel
Got
like
mailed in because he couldn't get Dre.
I feel like he selected. He probably sent him a bunch of beats and he selected that. I don't feel like they worked together on that. Now, maybe they did, but I've never heard a story of them saying that, they actually worked together on that record.
Doesn't feel.
It doesn't feel
Doesn't
like
feel
that.
like
It feels mailed in. Andrew Green with the super chat says, hot take, Kingdom Come is better than Volume 3.
Okay.
That's not too hot of a take.
First of all, it's nothing hot about that take. That's lukewarm.
I mean,
like
because
both
you
of
know
those
what?
albums
The
are.
song Kingdom Come in itself is better than everything on Volume 3.
You think it's better than Come and Get Me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
NYMP?
of course. Just when they
No
thought it
Big
was
Pimpin'
all over,
action
I
for
put
you?
the whole world on my back and broad shoulders. The boy Hova,
No,
who
no,
talk all over
no
tracks
Big
like
Pimpin'
that.
for you? No Big Pimpin' for you?
I'm cool on Big Pimpin'.
So ghetto?
Kingdom Come, the song is better than that.
You think Kingdom Come's better than So Ghetto?
I do.
Put it up in
No
the chat. For
question.
Put it up in the poll for a chat. I'd love
Sure,
to see
we'll do that. KD with
Yeah.
the super chat says, never cared about Azalea Banks, but she was preaching on IG the other day when she said that Bubba Sparks and Paul Wall are better white rappers than Eminem. She said that? I thought he was talking about when Azalea Banks said about Kanye and Puffy and all of that and Swiss. When she said that these rap niggas will band together for some of the dumbest shit. I thought that was really interesting.
That's a very poignant statement that she makes.
But
she, you know what she is? She's
I don't think Bubba Sparks is better than Eminem. Let me be clear.
A boxer. I love Deliverance personally more than I love any of Eminem's albums, though.
I'm
just
okay
talking
with
on an
that.
album basis. Like Deliverance is great.
I can agree with that.
Deliverance by Bubba Sparks is one of the most underrated rap albums ever, actually.
Deliverance is super dope.
Deliverance is super
dope. But that's just
dope.
one album, you know what I mean? M got
She Tried. Remember the She Tried, the storytelling on She Tried?
Yeah. No. Yeah. And listen, I'm not saying that to knock Bubba. I think Bubba just doesn't have enough for me to make that.
Well, he doesn't have enough tools in the toolbox to be M.
Yeah.
But before an album, yeah. But Azalea's like a great boxer. Like, most great boxers only land about 30 to 40% of their punches. So she doesn't land everything, but when she lands, like, it hurts.
What I respect about Azalea and Kanye, and I don't agree with them all the time. I hardly ever agree with Azalea. Is they're honest. They don't sit here and say everything that everybody else is saying. And I respect that. And I don't think she says things for shock value either. I think that she's being real with herself, and it comes across as shock value because nobody's willing to say these things.
That is that shock value only occurs when it happens in arbitrary fashion. It can't occur. It can't be shocking if it happens normal. Part of what's happened to us is that we've been desensitized to a lot of things because of the images and how social media works now.
Yeah. Matt Max with the super chat says, nobody talks about how 50 giving Game half of the songs on his album, and that was supposed to be on The Massacre, ruined 50's legacy. This is my thing.
Nobody told him to do that.
Is
that what happened? If that's what happened, nobody told you to do that.
This is my thing, man. You're a creator, and if that's what happened in that way, you should be able to recover from that. If not on this album, the following one. I don't like that excuse, man. I don't. And because we always hear that about the detox and all that, like, Dre gave all his beats to 50 for Get Rich or Die Trying. Okay.
He's a producer.
Are those the only beats you got? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't make nothing new. Because we've seen, and I hate to bring this guy up again, we've seen Kanye give great shit away. But you know what happens? Comes up with more great shit. He gave the Game Dreams. Come on, man. Mm-hmm. He gave the Game a beat like Dreams. And then,
just randomly.
and we don't even think about that because you know why? The nigga came up with more shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is.
Is Dreams or one of his 10 best beats though? 5 best beats?
Man, that shit's epic. It could be.
It's pretty epic.
It's hard for me to really, dig in because he got so much stuff, but no one's sitting there saying like, yo, late registration suffered because Kanye had to produce a bulk of B. No, he just did the shit.
I told you his greatest year might be that year. It's like, oh, you did late registration and B in the same year. It's like somebody give this nigga a standing ovation.
No one's sitting here coming at RZA.
A standing ovation.
Nobody sitting here coming at RZA like, yo, the purple tape. Well, not the purple tape. Liquid Swords lacked because you had to produce the whole purple tape. Or Old Dirty's album lacked because you had to produce Liquid Swords. He's great. He just did it.
After T'Challa into the Wu-Tang.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't like that excuse where people be like, oh, you get this project suffered because I gave this person this. Well, if you're that great to be giving away shit, retool.
You want to know what?
Make some more shit.
And here's what people have to understand about T'Challa. The beats on T'Challa are great. The rhymes on T'Challa are great. It's the life part that's missing. The songs just don't come all the way together like they should. The beats by themselves, the beats and the rhymes on there are dope as fuck. It's a dope album. This is my
thing, and I love Method Man.
It's aged well, in my opinion, too.
Method Man was my favorite rapper at that point in 1994. I think what's off-putting, I don't want to say off-putting, the expectations are different because he's coming from a group where these guys are very content-heavy. He's not that. You know what I mean? And I think the expectations were, or, like you said, him being matched up with the Biggies, the Nas's. These guys are going to be talking about a lot in their rhymes. Method Man's not going to give you records like The World Is Yours. He's not going to give you records like, Memory Lane. You're not going to get that from Method Man. Right. I don't think people were ready for that at that point.
So this is what happened. And so this is what I mean. I don't think he actually got treated fairly. People forget that for whatever people feel about Biggie, the content on Ready to Die does have dense moments.
Yeah.
Everyday struggle.
Things done changed.
Done changed. I don't care what you say. Hold on. Let me tell you what. Give Me the Loot isn't just a street record. That's a struggle record. You feel me?
Suicidal Thoughts. Method Man can't do those things for you. Yeah.
The song Ready to Die.
Yeah.
Warning. Yeah. No, there's depth on Ready to Die. So here's what happened. You're getting juxtaposed to Nas and Biggie. That's not fair because if you go back and listen to Enter the Wu-Tang is very, you know how you say that Illmatic is the most easy listening, great lyrical rap album ever?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers is the easiest listening street rap album ever because they nailed all the hooks, but nothing is complex, Mike.
Yeah.
How do the hooks go? Listen, if you want beef, then bring the ruckus. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. You best protect your neck. Watch your step, kid. Watch your step, kid.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Clan in the front. Let your feet stomp. Niggas on the left. Rag shit to death. Hoods on the right. Wild for the night. Punks in the back. There's nothing complicated about that. Listen, shame on a nigga who tried to run game on a nigga. Went buck wild with the trigger.
It's just perfect. Jay Short with the super chat says, my biggest disappointment was Miseducation. I liked it, but I was confused why one of the best rappers ever in her prime was singing. You know what? I had that feeling when I heard The Love Below, and I know everybody want to have revisionist history and never wants to admit it, but when y'all opened that package and put in The Love Below, I know you wanted to hear more rapping than what you heard. I know you did.
Absolutely.
I know you did. You know, we sat there and dealt with it because of his artistic freedoms and all of that stuff, but I know when we sat there and saw 20 tracks on that album, I think it was like 20, right?
19
no, or something like that.
20. A Day in the Life of Andre Benjamin is track 20.
I know we wanted to hear more than 3 verses with that. I know I did. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, here's the thing about it. You want to know what? I would feel better about that sentiment. No, I would feel that sentiment wouldn't be as hard to take if it had aged the way the Miseducation did. It's not like the singing that she did on the Miseducation hasn't stayed. No X Factor stays. You know what I'm saying? Nothing even matters. Like Mike, every time I do cut it on A Quiet Storm, Nothing Even Matters gets played at some point. Like today.
It's a beautiful record.
So it's like Everything Is Everything still gets played.
I played that the other day. And I mean, honestly,
Can't Take My Eyes Off You still gets played.
She wasn't just singing. She was making some great R&B records.
She's making some great records.
I can't really say.
The Love Below hasn't aged well.
This is the thing with The Love Below. I think that it was well written, great writing, all that stuff, right? But I think on the execution standpoint, I think that's why it may not have aged well. And I think it's understated, too, that he never performed any of this shit. And so when you perform these records, that's what I'm saying. But performing an album and performing songs on an album gives that album legs. You know what I mean? Right. And the fact that he never performed any of that stuff, all you have is what's on the disc.
But Prototype,
beautiful.
She Lives in My Lap, Vibrate.
She Lives in My Lap is the best song he ever made, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree. I'm right there with you. But Vibrate, Spread, Happy Valentine's Day.
Great record.
No, that's dope ass shit. No, that's great stuff.
Even Roses is a great record.
I was about to say Hey Ya to a degree, even though they just
Hey Ya's great. It. We just got tired of it, man. It just got
Day in the Life of Andre Benjamin, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's stuff on there.
Take Off Your Cool with Norah Jones. Great record. I like Dracula's Wedding too. Let me get to some of these.
I didn't like Dracula's Wedding. See, that's that stuff you could have kept. You could have kept that A&R artist and repertoire.
I like Dracula's Wedding. Mad Max in the super chat says 50 would have had 2 certified classic albums, classic mixtapes, and a classic collabo album. That's a 2-time champion, 3 gold medals, and an MVP. Top 20 status.
Boy,
I don't believe it. Listen, you know what? Let's talk about the Massacre real quick.
What is he smoking?
I think the highlights on the Massacre are huge.
Is that bubblegum kush?
It's just the missteps, man. I mean, what did you not like about the Massacre? Let me ask you, since you bought it. And I
think like 21 tracks.
It was too long.
Like 15 of them. That's what I don't like. I don't like 15 of the records. What do you mean? What do I not like?
Ski Mask Way was hard.
Ski Mask Way might be the best song on there.
I think either that. Nah, In My Hood's the best song on there to me. That's one of my favorite 50 songs, man. That shit hard.
I think I like Ski Mask Way more, but that's fine.
And you know, and I've talked about this producer earlier in the show, but I think that I'm Gonna Die Tonight is probably Eminem's most impressive production performance too. Now that Gap Man and Robin, that shit's trash. That shouldn't have been on there. No, that shouldn't have even been made. That shouldn't have been on anything.
Baltimore Love Thing.
I like Baltimore Love Thing.
Me too.
I like what's the Rider music? That was cool.
God Gave Me Style.
Beautiful song.
Yep. Those are my favorites. We just went through them. So Baltimore Love Thing, Ski Mask Way, In My Hood, God Gave Me Style. What's up with the rest of it? Disco Inferno. I like Disco Inferno. I like
Disco Inferno. I can't front on that record.
Yeah, I'm not going to front on Disco Inferno.
Hold on. Let me get to some of these super chats. Tater Tots.
That's 6 songs, Mike. That's what I'm saying. That's 6 records.
I'm going to go through it in a second. Tater Tot says, Victory Lap over Good Kid, Mad City, and Crenshaw over Section 80. Huh. Ooh. That might take us into our first topic. KD with the super chat says, you could create a million what-if scenarios in hip-hop. What if 50 kept those songs and he gave Game? What if I Am and Nostradamus was released as one album? I agree. We can't play that game, man. We can infinitely do that. Mad Max says, Mike, how creative can someone be you're talking about 3 people who can reinvent themselves. Nas, Ye, and who else? Creativity isn't infinite. Sorry. Yes, it's not. I mean, again, let's look at the Game though. Because if he just giving Game stuff like that, right? Game should have fell off a long time ago. He shouldn't even have a catalog. And let's just be real. Game would beat 50 in a versus.
Yes.
Mad Max to the super chat says 50 was giving all of G Unit stuff. Now that I believe. Like hooks for all other projects.
Yes.
We kill Hove and Drake for keeping the good stuff, but turn around and say that 50 was a what was that? Oh, was a one album star, even though
So
he gave away 2 albums worth of material. I see. I don't buy into that whole one album wonder. Now, I will say that I think 50 did a lot of work that he doesn't get credit for, and I think that he consistently put out good stuff, even though he wasn't at the height of his hotness anymore.
you want to know what? I will say this. He did give some of his best stuff to his artists.
No, I will say that.
And that does need to be noted. Here's what I'll tell you. I think in order it goes Get Rich or Die Trying, the documentary, Straight Outta Cashville, Beg for Mercy. Those are the 4 great projects out of that camp, correct?
You didn't like Lloyd Banks' album?
I liked it, but I don't think it's great. It's just good. It doesn't belong with those other 4, in my opinion.
Okay.
But right there on those 4, that's fair to say, and maybe we do need to give him more credit. Because I was just thinking about what he did for Buck's album. Like, no, what he did for Buck's album, I was thinking about Bonafide Hustler and the Let Me In.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of his best verses is Bonafide Hustler. They say heaven for churchgoers and hell's for the heathen, so I'ma just ball the fuck out while I'm breathing, 8th after 8th. What you know about that fast flip? Crack spot fiends coming round for that glass dig now. Shame stay asking for a dime for 9. I tell you what, I'll hook you up this one last time. Yeah, he's great.
Personality. Yo, and he even gave Tony Yayo a hit with So Seductive.
That's what I'm saying. No, so
that.
that's fair.
Yeah.
No, the stuff that he put in, because you can tell most of that is his hook work.
He could have kept So Seductive
that's where he
for
may
himself.
not be getting his credit is for all the great hooks that he did, because that's what's the key to those records. I'll teach you how to stunt. Popping them things is a personal favorite.
Popping them things is hard.
He
could have easily kept So Seductive.
No, I'm gonna give him his props today.
He could have easily kept that record. He could have kept.
If he would have kept Popping them things for the massacre, oh my god.
Yeah. Everywhere I go through. All
that's my shit. That's Dre. That's one of Dre's best beats nobody talks about.
Yeah, that shit's hard. Actually, you know what I really like? I like Out of Control remix with Mobb Deep.
I'm cool with that. I didn't love the move, but that you can't deny that record.
What's that?
No, Out of Control, the remix. Out of Control, like you can't deny it.
Like if Dre produced that, that's one of the best.
That's one of his best, yeah.
And recent. Well, I won't say recent. That was a fucking 17 years ago.
No, that's period. No, that's one of his period beats. I
love that record.
That's
Sean Lindsay with the super chat.
Dr. Dre contributions that don't belong in the Chronic or the Chronic 2001, where you're like, oh, give me that one when he gave him that one.
All right,
hey, how about this? I think the 2 Dre beats pushed the Purple Tape 2 over to Album of the Year status that year. The 2 Dre beats at the end.
Okay.
That was the finishing move. That was like, put a stranglehold on that Album of the Year thing.
Jay Short says, if Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis never gave songs away, they'd be the greatest duo in music history.
I was thinking about Babyface. Babyface be the illest.
Babyface, man, he gave away a lot of stuff if we want to play that game. A lot of stuff.
Talk about bars.
Right. Sean Lindsay with the super chat says, curious if you and Coop ever heard Top Authority's album, Something to Blaze to. I think it's one of the hardest gangster rap albums ever made. I need to check that out. I haven't heard it.
It sounds Something to Blaze to sounds familiar, but I can't say that I've heard it.
Yeah, got to check that out.
It sounds familiar just off the name. Hey, you want to know what? Hey, Mike, can we I just wanted to cover a couple of quick sports topics that I think are important that both involve the tennis in the U.S. Open right now.
I was going to say Josh Allen's the truth, but okay.
Okay, first of all, Josh Allen saw Bobby Wagner and saw the goal line, and unlike most grown-ass men, said, fuck that, and kept going toward the goal line. That's a grown man. You understand who Bobby Wagner is, right?
Yeah.
That's arguably the best linebacker of the last 15 years. And Josh Allen saw him at the goal line and proceeded to keep going. It's a problem this year. Yeah. That's what I saw. I was like,
shout out to Buffalo, man. Buffalo looks good.
He's going to do that to Jalen Ramsey on throwing the ball. He's going to do that to Bobby Wagner on running the ball. We didn't hear Aaron Donald's name all night outside of 1 or 2 plays. Oh, it's a problem.
Josh Allen's crazy right now, man. Buffalo's defense looked great too. Shout out
Problem.
to Von
Von
Miller.
Miller.
Yeah,
The problem.
yeah.
They had the number 1 defense last year. They didn't have Von Miller. It's a problem in these streets.
Oh yeah.
You know, hold on. Can you imagine? It's late December and it's the playoffs, and you got to go there, and he's running towards the goal line, and it's snowing, and it's -5-degree wind chill, and you got Von Miller calling off the edge against your court.
Yeah, that's a whole.
Somebody better start beating him. You don't want to go to Buffalo and play that quarterback and got Von on the edge. They're a problem.
Yeah, they are. Well, what were you about to say about tennis?
In a few moments, or sometime in the next hour, Francis Tiafoe is going to try to be the first black man since Arthur Ashe to actually make the U.S. Open final. He's the first black man, obviously, to make the semifinal since Arthur Ashe, which literally precedes you and I being born. So a little bit of history is taking place. Now, standing in his way is Carlos Alcaraz, who is a Spaniard, who is literally the closest thing that we've seen to Rafael Nadal, who is the all-time major men's record holder. So he has a large task up against him. Earlier this year, Alcaraz did something that only a handful of guys have ever done, and that is beat Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic consecutively to win a Masters Series title. The last person to beat them consecutively was Juan Martín del Potro in the 2009 U.S. Open. So this 19-year-old kid is good, and Tiafoe is up against it. What he has in his favor is that Alcaraz and his friend and Italian counterpart, Yannick Sinner, played the second longest match in U.S. Open history a couple of days ago. It was 5 hours and 15 minutes. Let's hope he's tired. I would love to see a black man in the final of the U.S. Open. On the women's side, Mike, we have the first woman ever to come from Africa to play for the women's title at the U.S. Open. Anish Jabbour is from Tunisia, and although it is an mostly Arab-dwelling country, it is in Africa. She is from Tunisia, so she is the first African woman of descent, even though she claims Arab, the Arab nation mostly. It is in Africa, Tunisia is. Mm-hmm. People don't know where Tunisia is. It's like right between, Algeria. It's like Algeria, Tunisia, something's right here, and then the Mediterranean's right there where Saudi Arabia is. So super close, and it's a very densely populated Arab country, but it's in Africa. She is playing the number 1 player in the world tomorrow to try to be the first African-born player to win a major. So a little bit of history going on up in Flushing Meadows, Queens, as we speak.
Nice. Legend with the super chat says Blueprint 2 Volume 3 and American Gangster 444. Fire. Wow. That's an interesting list. Jay Short says sometimes you give songs away because they aren't for you. Yes, Kanye West did that a lot. I mean, I'm sure he knew Dreams was an incredible beat, but it's like, yeah, Gold Digger's for me. You know what I mean?
So this is what I mean, man, we end up talking about him so too much. I can't stand that he's such a nasty bastard. You know who? This is what I'm saying. Man, R. Kelly could write you a great song and perform a great song. Even beyond Babyface. He's not the songwriter that Babyface is overall, because I don't think he has the depth to cross over to the female side the way Babyface does. But don't give me this, giving your best stuff away necessarily. It's if you got it, you got it. R. Kelly can give stuff to Ronald Isley and Michael Jackson and then literally still go make classic material consecutively for himself.
Yeah.
Think about it. He can give Ronald Isley and Michael Jackson and Celine Dion material, but then he can go still make I Believe I Can Fly.
No one ever heard an R. Kelly album.
Make Chocolate Factory. Nasty bastard.
No one ever heard an R. Kelly album and say, you know what, man, he's giving away too much of his good stuff.
Nobody ever said that. You want to know why? Because there was always plenty of fire shit in there.
Eric Terrell with the super chat says,
maybe the R. Kelly album. The R. Kelly album might be his best written album. It gets the least talked about of all his great works. The one with I Can't Sleep.
Yeah, great album.
And Be Happy and You Remind Me of My Jeep. That's the songwriting genius right there. It's he really made a hit record comparing a woman to a car. I don't know how you pulling this shit off.
Eric Terrell with the super chat says, Mike is smoking bubblegum Kush 50 versus Game, 20 songs. Game is done. Stick a fork in the game.
You want to know what I
What
thought about?
Game got for a little bit, and at least you can
Don't say
wish
for
me
a little
luck.
bit. I was thinking about that Disco Inferno, because Disco Inferno and In the Club are problems.
No, Disco Inferno's a monster. I didn't like
Disco
a little bit
Inferno's a
like
problem.
that.
Isn't that a Dre beat?
I think so.
That's one of the Dre beats on the Massacre. It feels like all the Dre stuff, I think, except for Gatman and Robin on there, is the best stuff, I think.
Dre did Gatman and Robin?
I feel like it.
Oh my God. I thought Eminem did that.
Let's check the stats.
KD with the super chat says the argument for 50 can be made against him. What if Rakim, D12, keep in the club? The truth is, everything under Interscope was collaborative back then. You know, I think that the whole mentality, too, was kind of like an all eyes on me mentality. They were going to give 50 everything at that point. Reggie with the super chat says, how do you guys feel about Coast Contra's version of Scenario? I got to listen to that.
I stand corrected. Eminem did Gatman and Robin.
Okay. Sounds like it. Shit's trash. I mean, I didn't mean it like that. You know what I mean?
You pretty certain.
It sounds like his style is what I meant. And those were two separate statements. You ready to go with the first topic?
I think we got everything covered outside of the. Hold on, Mike. Can I just make a side note? You know, I made a little Russell Wilson comment on this show the other day, and in our hip hop and sports group, Prez posted something because Russell Wilson put "R.I.P. Queen Elizabeth II" up. Okay, which personally, I'm not going to get into my feelings about it. But sure enough, a woman replied back, maybe you is corny. I don't know. You see, it's not us that be sitting up here calling him corny. It be the women. And so I just want to just remind them, it's like, no, it don't be us calling him corny. That be y'all that think the stuff that he do is corny and trying to make him out to be a lame. We like the guy.
I mean, listen, man, I don't know the guy to like him or not like him. I think he's a great football player. That's all I know. Sean Lindsay with the super chat says, Neck of the Woods, Mystical featuring OutKast is fire. Yes. Great record. You know, I think that record is one of those that it came literally 6 months before it needed to come out, because this is before Stankonia and this is before Mystical found that success with Shake It Fast and Danger. Now imagine if that song comes out slightly after Miss Jackson and, you know, So Fresh, So Clean and Danger and Shake It Fast. But soundtrack song, can't push back the wood soundtrack. Born King with the super chat says, peace, I'm late. Here, new BSF is fire. Yes, it is.
Told you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Listen.
The 38 is fire and the BSF is fire. They came through today.
The thing that I take from that mostly, the BSF album, Benny is on fire right now, and I'm looking forward to Armani Caesar. And the hook game from, Stove's hook game is crazy.
It's different when he's on a record.
Yeah.
He
can change a record.
I told you he's a star. I told you when somebody in our chat before we were even on YouTube told us that we need whoever that is need to show themselves. The person that put us on the Reasonable Drought when we were still on Facebook Live.
I remember that.
They were like, no, they were like Rock Marciano, because you were talking about how much you love Rock Marciano. And somebody was like, y'all need to check out this dude, Rock Marciano's track he just produced, Stove the God. It's called Reasonable Drought. And you and I both went and listened to it. We were like, who in the fuck is this?
No, you're right. I remember that vividly. Mad Max says, Russ is a great football player, Mike. Now he's just okay. He said he was a great football player. Now he's just okay.
That's what I was just thinking. It's like he's been great. He needs to show that he's great again, right now.
He said there's about 8, maybe 10 quarterbacks better than Russell when all healthy.
No, not. Hold on.
And on the field.
Pause. Brady,
all time or right now?
No, right now. Brady, Rodgers, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, right?
Yeah.
Who after that? You think Herbert's better?
I don't think so.
Neither do
Listen,
I.
man, we're gonna have to see because we don't know. He's in a whole new offense, whole new team.
But what I'm saying is that if we're going off reputation and career, it's like the only people right now that I think we should say succinctly are better than him is obviously Brady, Rodgers, Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I'm thinking Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. And the rest of these guys are vying for it, like Burrow, Herbert, the rest of those guys. It's like, no. I mean, if you wanted to say Burrow, but I still haven't seen enough from Burrow yet either. Like, he's prime time, but like Russ has played in some NFC championships game and Super Bowls, multiple.
Russell's in my
NFC championships. Yes.
Yeah, Russell's on my fantasy team, so I'm hoping for the best.
I didn't play fantasy this year.
Oh man. Yeah, my dad was like super excited about it, so I was like, "Yeah, let's do this, man." I got Russell Wilson and I got Cam Akers, and he got no yards yesterday. Like 3 touches, ridiculous, man.
I'm just gonna
and I traded up for him too.
I'm just gonna parlay. You feel me?
I feel that. Look, we were gonna talk about some of the top albums of this year, and let me go to this list. I got the list you sent me, and so the way we're gonna do it, we're gonna talk album for album. So we got Lupe matched up with Kendrick's album. We got Benny's album matched up with Conway's album. Go ahead.
Well, the first thing I want to say, part of the reason why we did this is because, we need to change our rating system a little bit because what's happened, and even and some of this is even pandemic driven because you see like the way that you and I were just having a conversation about how like the media outlets knew what they were getting beforehand for so long because of the relationships with the record companies. Mm-hmm. The record companies don't really control what they used to control with just a lot of the release times and dates and how much music these independent artists and factions like Griselda can flood the market. And so we need to change our rating system and really like hash it off like by the point to separate because it's too many albums that are too close together. And this is why respective entities, whether we like them or not, rating wise, like Pitchfork do like rate it off to the 10th point, and then other places that we do like Hip Hop DX do the same. Like they have Magic rated as a 4.3 and Cheat Codes rated as a 4.6. And it's like, I get why their rating's totally wrong. One's a 5, one's a 4.5, but the scale needs to be measured that way. A lot of it is because of the density of the music that these publications are taking in. We're taking in a comparable density, although it's just you and I running this gamut. We still need to start rating it that way.
Okay. Yep, definitely. And we got to talk through it as we normally do. Born King with the super chat says, I've heard about Stole from Lord Jamar years ago. Jamar was one of the people who put him on. I never knew that. That's what's up.
I didn't know that.
Michael Williams in the super chat says, who is the best lyricist to come out of Brooklyn?
I always told you the thing that Jay always had over Big was the lyrics and nothing else. So I
think Jay-Z's a better lyricist than Kane and Mos Def.
Hold on. You think Jay? I'm about to say the argument is he a better lyricist than Kane and Mos, right?
I think so.
Or y'all seen him to say?
Yes.
And you say yes.
And it's only because, man, Jay's an incredible lyricist. And you know how I feel about Yasin and his gifts lyrically and how he approaches things. But I think Jay has just shown us so much as a lyricist. It's hard to put any of those people over him.
How about this? This is what's great about Jay, and this is what I always tell people. It's like, well, Kane and Yasin are more talented lyricists, but not better.
I know Yasin definitely is. I don't know if Kane.
No, Kane is too. Kane has a better voice, and as sick as Jay's flow is, like Kane's classic delivery is better than Jay's best flow.
Did you
like
see
that flow that's on the Symphony and on Platinum Plus? That's better than Jay's best flow.
I disagree, but I feel you. And I love that flow.
Right.
I love that flow. I want to say this though, and I don't want to get too far off topic, but did you see Offset performing his solo song on Jimmy Fallon?
I feel like I found it on Facebook or Twitter somewhere, but it was probably you.
It probably was me.
It was you.
So you saw it?
It was via you. It had to have been you.
He was dancing.
Have anybody else posting stuff
he was dancing and rapping, and this is the thing, man. Like
that was you, yes, because you gave it, Mike. You gave a whole dissertation about it. That was you.
Yeah, so it was me. Listen, our first look and first listen, people kind of find the comedic side of it or whatever, and this is where I take it. And I'm totally convinced now that Quavo might be the greatest individual leader of a rap group that we've seen. I think him and Q-Tip are in another stratosphere, right? But anyway, I see what Offset's trying to do. I just think that he's not totally prepared for it and jumping in and out of choreography because, for people who don't know, he was a dancer first. I don't think his rap style fits really well with dancing right now in the way that he's trying to do it. But I love the fact that he's trying to do some Heavy D and the Boys type of thing with the style of rapping that he's doing. Saying all that to say, that shit ain't easy, man. Like, you could be in great shape and still not have... He was winded 30 seconds in. And when I saw that, it made me appreciate what Kane does even more. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be a lyricist at that level and a rapid lyricist and have that kind of breath control and then still doing dance moves, wow.
And not to be funny, at his age, and I say that respectively.
No, respectfully.
Because I sat up there and spit a verse last week on here and I lost breath at the end and I'm 40. It's real. And I don't smoke nicotine anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not even like I got the nicotine to blame it on anymore. It's like, no, it's just hard.
I think that, look, I want to encourage Offset in what he's trying to do because I think it's great, actually. I think it's great what he's trying to do. Oh. I think he needs to study Heavy D and the Boys. I think he needs to have some conversations with Kane. And you know, somebody in the one of the posts was saying that he needs Beyonce boot camp. They're trying to be funny, but I do think there's something to that. Like what Beyonce does very well with her performances is she picks her spots, and she knows when to rest. She knows when to take breaks. She knows where in the song she's stopping, going back. Great musical direction, and yeah, he needs some of that if this is what he's going to try to do.
You know who's excellent at that as well? Usher.
Yeah.
Usher's great at that. Usher knows, because Usher's charismatic. Usher knows when to pause, talk a little shit, smile, show his teeth, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Break the shit up a little bit with something else because he's an entertainer and a star. If you're going to do certain things, it's like, no, you got to entertain. Like Usher and Beyonce, they know how to take somebody like out the crowd and make them the focal point for a minute.
But see, a lot of that comes with experience, man. I think
some of that is God-given, too. Yeah. That's part of being a star.
Yeah, Michael was able to do that around Bad, but it's like, yeah, he was, at that time, 87? He's damn near a 20-year vet at that point.
See, but that's what I'm saying, though. But the guy that's doing ABC had that same gift.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
The guy that's doing ABC, that's the same motherfucker.
So do you feel like Beyonce had those gifts when she was in Destiny's Child, or you think that's just over time, you know, just continuously getting better and better at your craft?
You know what's funny? You're never going to find two people that are together that are famous that worked as hard as they did to become who they became the way Jay and Beyonce have.
Straight up. Incredible hard workers. Man,
but that's all the reason why they're probably together, too. That's probably one of those things that draws them together is that they see that next level work ethic probably out of the other person. Because if you think about it, in a lot of ways, she is him. She is regarded as one of the, if not the greatest of all time. And her voice is not up to par with the other people that she is in the stratosphere with, much like his voice isn't. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but because of the work that they have put in and the songs that they have made and how charismatic they are, they're stars.
Yeah.
You feel me? There's a lot of comparisons between them that make sense. So you can kind of see the connection and the union.
Man with the super chat says, Coop, why do you prefer street rap over conscious rap? You want to dispel this whole notion?
Yes. You want to know it? Let's unpack this. First of all, I'm glad that this is actually coming up.
Me too.
This is actually on my mind. And you want to know why I was on my mind today? Because I was listening to that DJ Shadé, and I was like, man, what did I text her? I'm like, this shit is exciting.
Yeah.
They're exciting. That joint with Benny and Armani at the end, the big BSF, that's exciting. The joint with Stove was exciting. But here's what I have to submit to you. It's not that I like shit that's exciting. It don't have to be gangster to be exciting. I like to get excited. Here's what I mean. You want to know what excites me? and probably makes my daughter like shrink and shrivel every time. If a War Tour by Tribe Called Quest comes on, Mike, I go berserk. That shit is exciting. When Get a Hold off of Beats, Rhymes, and Life comes on, oh, I go berserk. Drums on there are crazy.
Well, see, this is the thing, you know, and you talk about excitement, and I agree with you. Public Enemy, their shit was chaotic, and it's like, do people consider Public Enemy conscious rap? You should, you know, because conscious is about the message, right? It's very conscious music, but their beats aren't boring. Let's keep it all the way 100. And I'm not saying everybody. A lot of conscious rappers' production is boring. I think Chris Rock made a joke about it. It's just what it is. And that, you know what? I love the Black Star album. I know we're going to get killed for this, but yes, when we were going through it on the Patreon, a lot of those beats were boring. Respiration's not boring.
Hold on, but here's what I would submit to you. You want to know what's crazy that people say that? If you'll go back to the episode and go look at my top 50 albums, there's more conscious rap albums than there are gangster rap albums, Mike. Because here's what I'm saying. What would you call Illmatic?
I don't know. I mean, see, Nas is a hybrid. I don't think it's fair to mention him.
Okay. What would you call Aquemini?
They're hybrids too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, okay, listen. What would you call It Takes a Nation?
Well, that's conscious, but
what would you call the Low End Theory? Midnight Marauders.
But see,
3 Feet High and Rising, Stake is High,
let me stop you real quick.
Half-Life, Things Fall Apart. These are all albums that were in my top 50, but I don't like conscious rap. It's like I put more conscious rap albums. There are more conscious rap classics, in my opinion, that are in the top 50 than there are gangster rap classics.
You know what? You get pegged with this. You get pegged with this, and you're more of a Roots and Black Thoughts fan than I'll ever be. You know what I mean? And
I love them.
Yeah.
I love Black Thought and the Roots. I love Tribe, just not like you do.
I love Tribe. The Roots are kind of boring to me. I'm just gonna be honest. And you know what? I slept on Black Thought's skill set for years because he was behind the Roots production.
That's obvious when I hear you talk. That's what I'm saying. So when cats are pulling up on me and telling me that I don't like conscious rap, when I've been one of these guys fighting for Black Thought since like 1995, 96, it's like, do you understand how you sound to me?
Well, you know what the thing is too, man. Like, if anybody wants to say, and I hate to keep bringing this album up, but y'all say it's classic, so it should be in the conversation. If y'all want to tell me that you're gonna listen to the Black Star album over Straight Outta Compton, you're not telling the truth.
That's my thing. Okay,
you gonna listen to that album over Doggy Style? You're not.
So this is what I'm saying. Why can't there be room for both to breathe? And what I would tell you is really going on is that the gangster shit that gets made now is better than the conscious stuff that gets made now. And that's really why you're mad. I swear by B by Common. How much do I come on here and talk about B by Common? There is nothing gangster about that album.
Mad Max with the super chat says, 38 impressed me more than the BSF. Him and Nick Grant, the best punchline MCs right now. And 38's production was great. And the maturity he's displaying, Ransom-esque. You know what? I need to go check that out. You know what?
I'm going to go listen again because I only heard it once, but what I heard, I thought there was great. But let's finish up this whole conscious thing. It's just not fair when I refer like Common and the Roots and Tribe and De La and like literally make lists. Like on my top 50 list, listen, there is the Low End Theory, Midnight Marauders, People's Instinctive, Things Fall Apart, Illadelph, 3 Feet High and Rising, Stakes is High, De La Soul is Dead.
All right? Do you got Pusha T over Common?
All time?
Yes.
I can't do that in all fairness, I think, because B and Daytona cancel each other out.
What about Raekwon?
Common has like Water for Chocolate, and all the other Pusha stuff is going to be mixtape or group stuff.
What about Raekwon? You got Raekwon over Common?
Yeah, I got Ray over Common.
Ooh, I don't know if that's fair. Why do you have Ray over Common?
Because B is nowhere close to the Purple Tape, even though it's a classic.
But see, the Purple Tape he shared.
That's what I'm saying, though. Okay, so
and Common got other albums
This is why we ran down all those classic albums that Ray did high contributions to, though. He's just contributed more. He's got solo material to back it up, but it's like, no, he's the focal point of Enter the Wu-Tang. Oh, he's the focal point of Wu-Tang Forever, damn near. Well, he's the focal point of the focal Purple Tape. Iron Man. He's on the Infamous twice. Twice he's on the Infamous. How many other cats are on the Infamous twice other than Havoc and Prodigy? Oh, nobody. Oh, okay. How many people are on Hell on Earth? It's Nas, Method Man, Raekwon. Hello.
DJ Bruce Almighty with the super chat says, I heard the new Prodigy DJ Premier song. It's dope. And that DJ Drama and Jeezy song is fire. You like that? A lot of people were saying it was trash.
I told you it was good. It was like, I don't even, is he dropping an album? I don't even know what was going on with the record. That's why I was like, oh, it's good. I don't know what's going on.
I think they're kind of just testing the water to see if people feel it or not.
Okay.
Michael Williams with the super chat says, AZ and Jizza are both from Brooklyn. Both from Brooklyn too. You put Jay over them lyrically?
Long term, yes.
Yes.
If you're talking about in spurts, AZ. If you're talking about for an album,
in a vacuum.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's a marathon. If you're talking about for an album, it's Liquid Swords. If you're talking about in spurts, it's AZ. But if you're talking about overall, yeah, it's still Jay. Because he consistently is giving it to us album after album. It's not fair.
We can't ignore that. Yeah, we can't ignore that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, nigga, what else do you want?
20 points for 15 straight years. You can't give it over a guy that scored 20 points like 7 years.
No, that's real. Mad Max with the super chat says, Jay is a better lyricist than Kane. I don't know if I could say that. Kane and G-Rap rhyme.
Thing was valid.
Is that Kane and G-Rap rap better than Jay from what I've heard. Kane's nasty when he is in his bag. And this is from a 25-year-old. You're 25, right? Mad Max, I think you might be younger than that. Let's see. And we got Sean Lindsay with the super chat says, Big's verse on You Can't Stop the Rain. Classic. Katie with the super chat says, did you speak on the Only Built for Cuban Links homage from Quavo and Takeoff? Yes, we spoke on that Wednesday. Yep. Mad Max with the super chat says, like I've seen in an interview where Pusha T once said that Kane was better lyrically than Rakim, and Rakim over Hove. And if Kane comparable, then yes, lyric-wise, he's greater. I'm sorry, man.
I heard that. That's why Pusha T named that mixtape Wrath of Cain. He's talking about that interview where he's talking about where he got the name Wrath of Cain from. And he was riding, I think he was in Philly, and he had heard this, that they played like an hour straight of like Kane's best stuff. And that made him like kind of like push Kane ahead of Rakim. I remember that interview well.
I love Kane. And I remember him talking about that in the interview, but no. Jay Short with the super chat says, Hammer danced, rapped, and took no breaks. Just saying. But you know what? This is what I'm going to say about Hammer. And yeah, Hammer danced his ass off. Ain't nobody out dancing Hammer. Possibly the greatest rap performer of all time. But the way that Hammer was rapping was choppy. I think what's going on with Offset, he's going to have to change up his flow if he's going to try to dance and do choreography. Like, it's hard to get out the type of flow that he does if you're standing still. He's going to need to get some breaks, and I think that he's going to have to just, like I said, study Heavy D is going to be the best advice I could give Offset. Because I want Offset to pull this off. I think he's a good dancer, and I think he's a good rapper, too. Katie with Super Chat says, stop it, Coop. Daytona isn't close to B at all. I don't know, guys. I'm a big B proponent.
I think B is better.
B is better, but Daytona's special, man.
I think B is better.
Yeah, Daytona's special.
This is what I mean is that you don't have to be a gangster to be exciting. Oh, no. The Corner, that's exciting. What is it? Shy City?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
What is it? When They Say comes in, when you hear that little... No, that's exciting.
The food is exciting. Y'all remember where you were at when you seen the food on Dave Chappelle? The food is super
exciting. That's what I'm saying. Mike, the track Stakes is High, off the album Stakes is High. Exciting.
It is.
Exciting.
Vibration.
That's what I'm talking about. Hold on. What? It don't have to be that, Mike. Mathematics.
Yeah.
Miss Fat Booty. Exciting. The Blast.
I was going to say The Sixth Sense.
Exciting.
Yeah.
No, Black Water for Chocolate. Exciting.
Period. No, you know,
Period. That's what I'm saying.
Thelonious is exciting. I love
Thelonious
Thelonious.
is exciting. Mike, The Roots, Concerto of the Desperado, off Philadelphia Half-Life, Rock You off Phrenology, exciting.
Slum
100%
Village.
Dundee off Things Fall Apart, exciting. Adrenaline off Things Fall Apart, exciting.
You know what album I listen to all the time? Slum Village, fantastic. I love that album. Still, I've been listening to that album for 22 years. Like, for real.
Listen. One of Dilla's first most notable tracks people didn't even know he did. Running off of the Pharcyde's Lab Cabin, California. Exciting. Every time that I hear that beat drop, that shit gives me chills.
Run. The way he chopped up that Run DMC
Oh no, that
sample.
shit is exciting. Gives me goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah,
so
the way he chopped up.
It's not a conscious thing. It's like, no, excite me.
The way he chopped up that Run DMC from Rockbox. That shit's amazing.
Yes.
That shit's amazing.
Crazy.
Run. That shit's fire, man.
And all you hear but doom, run. No, that shit exciting. Crazy.
I love Drop too. He did that as well. Mad Max with the super chat says
he did do Drop. Yeah.
Mad Max says, let's be for real. Your conscious rap isn't all that those guys have no personality. They have sleepy beats. No charisma, content, and schemes.
Mike talking about the beats.
Yeah, he said content and schemes. All they got is weak. They all got weak voices, no charisma. Then they go conscious. That's interesting. I never thought about it like that. But yeah, the conscious MCs don't have the kind of personalities that the gangster MCs got. It just is what it is.
They don't.
They don't have the charisma either.
That's
and you
what
know
I'm
what?
saying.
When you do have the charisma and the personality, look what you got. Kanye West. That's what you got.
Right. I was about to say, take Ye out of the equation.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Compare somebody like, no, listen to this. Compare somebody like Common and Yasin to 50 and Jay, charisma-wise.
Yeah. Our man with the super chat says, peace, brothers. I was listening to the Roots Undone album the other day. Very slept on album. Where do y'all place it in their catalog? Where you got Undone?
What, the Undone album?
Yeah.
Shoot. I mean, I told you I'm going to change my sentiment. Things Fall Apart, Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going Phrenology. Then I'm going Do You Want More?
Mm-hmm.
And then we can have an argument, but I would probably go Game Theory and then Undone. So I would say it's their sixth best album.
They got a great catalog, man.
They do. That's what I mean. It's just like, I've been fighting for a lot of these conscious artists to get the notoriety that they deserve. I'm the only nigga that was riding through Southern California playing B.
Well, you know what? Let me address the elephant in the room because I know people have issue with me and probably Lil Brother too. Because I've made comments there. I think Lil Brother's great. I've always thought that the star of Lil Brother to me was Ninth Wonder.
Was Ninth, right?
It is what it is. You know what I mean? I think Ninth's production.
This is what
and you know what? And you hear the album that they did without Ninth. Come on, man.
Here's the thing about it. Fonte and Pooh. All right. They're dope-ass MCs. Ain't nobody ever questioned that, though, now have we? Has anybody said that these dudes was whack?
No.
How do records sound? Are the records exciting you? Is it personable? Do you feel it? Like when Armani coming on ACs, you remember when she's saying that before she coming on the record? You like, oh, it's like it's different.
That's what MCing is. Even when you was in the park, even when this shit was in its origins. You have to command the crowd.
Voice.
It is what it is.
Let's get back to it. We keep having this conversation about what connects and what doesn't, but really what it comes down to, Mike, the voice matters almost just as much as the rhymes do.
Mad Max brought up some great points, man. He says, I'll take LL more serious than the guys or even Drake because they're not acting like some spiritual monks with the next intellect when they basic. You know, even when you look at the voice of somebody like a LL or a delivery of a LL, is there a conscious, quote unquote, conscious MC that can command the stage and mic like that? You know who does? Black Thought. He can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
CJ Kid with the super chat says,
Also high on him.
Coop, did you ever drop an album? I would love to hear it. Go ahead and promote the album.
I dropped one officially, and there another project that was floating out around the city before I kind of like hung it up. So 2 projects and a project with my cousin. I mean, I've done probably over 200, 300 songs. So
Nas the Goat with the super chat says, did y'all see Rakim rap over The World Is Yours beat? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Eric Terrell with the super chat says, Mike and
Coop. That's his pocket, Mike. What do you mean? It's like what you think he was gonna do to a beat like that?
Right. Eric Terrell with the super chat says, Mike and Coop, if you could pick an MC and a singer plus a producer for one album, who would it be? Fantasy League. So okay, hold on.
Say that again.
Yeah, he said an MC and a singer plus a producer for one album. Who would it be? Huh.
Okay. Do we have to? Okay. So who's the MC that we're picking? First of all, can they be alive? Or, I mean, can we pick any MC? Like they got to be alive?
He didn't have any stipulations, so I guess any MC.
Tupac back.
You want Tupac? What singer do you want?
Laurin.
Huh. Okay. And what producer for that?
Dilla.
That would be very soulful.
Yep.
That would be very
Laurin
soulful.
and Dilla. Give it here.
Huh. All right. So I'm picking Kanye as the producer.
I knew you were going to do that. That's why I'm taking Dilla. My beat's going to be better. Not by much.
It would either be Ye or Q-Tip, but you know what? I'm going to throw up as an MC, though. Who do I want? Give me... Shit, man. Give me Big... I don't know. No, hold on. I don't know, man. It's tough. I might say... Well, we've done Jay and Ye before. We've gotten that before. I don't know. I like your combination. Pac, Laurin, because Laurin can give you the rap and the singing thing, too.
Right. She can get with him.
Yeah.
And you can't, and if you don't feel like it's lyrical enough, quote unquote, she can get lyrical for you.
It would be interesting to hear Pac over Dilla, though.
Pac can do anything. He's an artist.
But you know what? I'm gonna take Dilla out.
You rapped over Dear Mama and keep your head up. I'm
gonna take Dilla out and put Kanye in, and it's gonna be all Gemini's there. Album's never gonna get done.
Correct.
Jay Short with the super chat says, "Is Cube a conscious rapper? 100 charisma." Yeah.
I thought about that. He's the hybrid.
He is the hybrid.
He is the conscious ass gangster nigga.
He is.
It's like you feel like he might teach you something and whoop that ass.
Him and Pac are the hybrids. And Pac got it, a lot of that from him, I would imagine.
I think they got all of that from Chuck, though.
Yeah, they all got that from Chuck.
Because Chuck was conscious, but you felt like Chuck and they was rolling with they might fuck you up. You felt that way. Yeah. It's like might stomp that ass out too. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, nobody's jumping on stage with Public Enemy.
Ain't nobody trying nothing with
you got a whole
you got trained motherfuckers. Yeah. They classic. No, yeah. These motherfuckers coming out with firearms.
Like got the S1Ws over here, man. That's not happening. Eric Terrell with the super chat says, Suave House or Rap a Lot? Rap a Lot.
Only because of Face. Rap a Lot had Face, right?
Mm-hmm.
End of discussion.
And the Ghetto Boys. Michael Williams says, is Kanye's production on B better than his production on any of Kanye's solo albums?
I don't agree. Late Registration.
No, he's asking.
That's what I mean. Late Registration. That's what I mean. It's like we can go to that year. It's like, oh, you did the beats on Late Registration and B the same year? Because the beats on Late Registration are actually better than the beats on B.
They are.
Except for the shit that Dilla did.
But somebody could say he had help, Clayton is asleep with the super
John
chat.
Bryan for Late Registration, but I think John Bryan helped with the arrangement and the composition, not with the production and the beats.
Right. Clayton is asleep with the super chat says, The Business is one of my favorite off of the Stakes is High. Always exhale Facts, because I
Exciting.
don't inhale
Exciting.
lies. Yes.
Hold on. Hold on. The way one day it all makes sense starts. Invocation. Real nigga quotes. Exciting. Hungry off one day it'll make sense. Exciting. Watermelon off resurrection. Exciting.
I would like to hear Jay-Z and Mary J. Blige do a collaboration together. I think that'd be cool. Or would you rather hear Meth and Mary? I don't know.
I'm a voice guy. Listen to the voices that I pick.
Yeah.
I picked Tupac, Laurin. Like, listen to the voices.
Sean Lindsay says Bobby Creekwater. It's funny, man. I went to school with Bobby Creekwater.
Sure did.
Yeah, we all went to Pebblebrook together. You know, that's one of the and not to put anybody out there like that, because I think Bobby Creekwater is dope. I remember he was in the group Jadis with the other Twan or whatever, and they had this song I can never find it. It was called "Smoke in the Air." My guy who knew them actually had it on CD. It was beautiful, and I mean, it's not on YouTube or anything like that. I have no idea where it's at, but I remember when he got signed to Shadé, and he was a grade above me. And I go on Wikipedia and I saw the age, and I'm sitting there like, that's like 2 years younger than me. That's when I knew that the industry used to, you know, fix your ages up. That's when I realized.
Politics is usual.
Mad Max with the super chat says, look at Sauce Smile record. Sauce Smile record. Oh, he's talking about, yeah. Sauce.
What is it?
He's talking about the Smile record from Sauce Walker. He said,
oh,
look
yeah,
at Sauce
how
Smile
he starts off the
record.
mixtape. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's what.
No, let me finish
his
his statement real quick.
You know who I thought about? No.
Let me finish his statement real quick, because I think that's what he was getting to. He said, look at Sauce Smile record. He's saying something, and he is being conscious. Is he a conscious rapper? Like
No.
Cube and Nas, Pac, Laurin, they have charisma and they're conscious. And go ahead. Yeah, I wanted to finish his thought.
Scarface.
Is he a conscious MC?
Like, who keeps it realer than Face in terms of like really real world, real life situations? Isn't that conscious?
So what they're saying is,
he's just giving. See, here's what I'm saying. He's just not dressing it up and making it pretty. He's giving you the harsh reality of it. Isn't it conscious though? Because you damn sure need to be awake and on point.
I guess what they're saying is you don't like MCs to have no charisma.
That's what it sounds like they're saying, but don't say I don't like conscious rappers, because I love me some Q-Tip. I love me some Black Thought, Common, Yasin. Yeah. De La.
Yeah.
Chuck, Face, Cube, Nas, Pop. These are my favorite people. Yeah. Andre. My favorite two MCs growing up who I aspired to be the most are Nas and Andre 3000. Does it sound like I love gangster rappers? Does it sound like I love gangster rappers when my two favorite MCs growing up were Andre 3000 and Nas? I'm sorry, Andre. Damn the 3000.
Andre Benjamin. Yeah, Andre's a conscious Benjamin. MC. Everything
so
that Andre...
Listen to the shit. A nigga that's saying, simply follow me, flow, put poetry inside a crack pot and blow. No, that's a nigga that's thinking. That's a conscious thought process.
Everything that Andre says.
I lean towards that more. So the fact that people think that I don't like it more, it's like, that's crazy.
Everything that Andre says in his lyrics is reflective and conscious, by definition.
You want to know, I just believe in hip hop, and I know hip hop exists in the streets. So it's like, as much as I love Nas and Andre, well, right after them, I have Prodigy and Raekwon in that same era of terms of people that I love, because you need both. That's why I keep saying, why can't it be both? It's like, why can't I love Nas and love Prodigy? Why can't I love fucking Q-Tip and love Ray? Or Common and Ray? Why can't it be both?
Right. Nas the GOAT with the super chat says, I prefer conscious rappers over street rappers any day. I don't want to hear all the killing and drug talk. Conscious has a better message.
But these dudes be lying because they're around the same situations and circumstances. They're just not telling you. Y'all seen from Brooklyn. Coming from the west side of Chicago.
Yeah.
Black Thought from West Philly.
Ryan Gillen with the super chat says, if you could wish the hip-hop gene for better lyrical skill and flow from two different rappers, what two rappers would you take from? Okay, so we're getting a lyrical gene and we're getting a flow gene, and we're putting it together to make a super rapper with a great flow and lyrical skill. Who are you getting the lyrical gene from, and who are you getting the flow gene from?
I'm getting the lyrical gene where everybody got the lyrical gene from, it seems like, and that's going to be Rakim.
Of course.
We're going to take Biggie's flow.
You're going to take Biggie's flow?
Rakim's lyrics and Biggie's flow.
Okay.
We need to bring Shadé on.
Okay. Is she ready?
I don't know.
Let me get through these super chats real quick. Text her real quick if you can while I go through these super chats.
Yeah, I'm trying to shoot her a line on IG.
Okay. Mel with the super chat says, when will they shoot by Ice Cube off the Predator album is one of the best album opens and lyrical performances ever. You know what? I would love to take Ice Cube's flow too. Ice Cube has such a direct flow. Esquire in the building. Esquire has won our trivia nights 2 weeks in a row. Can't nobody beat Esquire. He's 20 for 20. He's answered every question right.
Esquire's going down. I just didn't have time yesterday. I got the notification. I was in the middle of something. I don't know who you are, Esquire.
I don't know, man. I don't know if you can beat Esquire.
I'm going to take you down because I just have fun doing stuff like that.
We had questions from...
I don't want no prize or no money when I take Esquire down, Mike. I just want to beat Esquire.
There were questions from Young Thug, questions from Lil Scrappy. There were questions from Ahmad from back in the day when I was young. I'm not a kid anymore. Like, it was all across the board. Esquire has not gotten the answer wrong yet. 2 weeks in a row. Esquire says, how ironic to call Black Star boring, but to put No Fear of Time and Cheat Codes in the Album of the Year conversation. I find a lot of Push's solo, non-Ye production boring. I'm talking about Black Star, the album. Now, No Fear of Time is not boring at all. At all. Now, No Fear of Time is exciting. To me.
Hold up. I'm about to say, let's get the super chats done and then call her in.
Okay, cool. We'll put her in. Dane with the super chat says, I went to New York State of Mind tour last night. Great concert and the energy from all acts. Hopefully y'all make it when it comes to ATL. I think they're going to be here on the 22nd. We'll definitely make it. I was looking at some tickets today. Mad Max with the super chat. Uh-huh.
This month?
Uh-huh. Mad Max with the super chat says, why y'all say conscious versus street? There's other rappers who aren't doing either Busta, Luda, LL, Drake, Sean, Redman, Method Man, ASAP Rocky. Why y'all say conscious versus street?
That's what's beautiful about Wu-Tang.
Yeah, because those guys aren't. Yeah, it's not. They're not conscious or street.
That's what's beautiful about Wu-Tang Clan. It's like, well, who is Jizza to you? Is he conscious or is he street? Because he's the nigga that said clan in the front, let your feet stomp. Niggas on the left, rag shit to death. Clans on the right. Well, no, that's street shit right there.
Yeah.
But that's also the guy that said, but he don't know the meaning of dope when he's looking for a rapper that's cleaner than a bar of soap. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's intelligent and thoughtful, and he's like gangster. Picture bloodbaths and elevator shafts. Like this genuine craft. Check the editing, swear veteran, spark the lettering. Slow moving MCs is waiting for the editing. A liquid soluble that made up the ministry, that made up the chemistry, a gaseous element that burnt down your ministry. Jeez. Herbal vapors and biblical paper smoking exodus.
Jeez.
That doesn't sound gangster. That's the same dude that did Clan in the front.
He's incredible.
When he's saying, I be swinging swords strictly based on keyboards, unbalanced like elephants and ants on seesaws.
In a vacuum, he is the best lyricist in Brooklyn. In a vacuum, he's Brooklyn's best lyricist.
That's what I mean. If you're talking about like what you hear on Liquid Swords, it's like, oh, that's the best lyricist ever come out of Brooklyn. It's just like you don't have enough evidence to say it over a course of time.
Right.
But Liquid Swords is there.
Bagger Jones in the super chat says.
Rec Room era.
Bagger Jones says Nas is on this tour making Jay-Z look even worse. KD3 on the way. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Born King with the super chat says, yeah, but then he said, I cook up and cut small pieces to get my loot back. Mike's right. Nas is the ultimate hybrid. Yeah. He's the ultimate hybrid. 36 Chambers says, I tied with Esquire week 1. Couldn't participate last night, but I wanted to put that out there. Okay, all right. You tied, but I think they gave Esquire the win because he answered faster. Esquire says, case in point, Coop, I believe you said you prefer Cass's first album to ATLians. when it's the other way around for most, ATLians is more conscious.
Hold on, pause for a second.
ATLians is third for me.
But this is why I prefer Southern Playalistic to ATLians. Well, in 1992, I left Atlanta and I went to South Carolina for a year. And then the following year, in 1993, I ended up in Charlotte. So when they came out in 1994, my whole world had gotten ripped apart in a matter of a year or two. And so they reminded me of home. And so part of why I have Southern Playalistic ahead of ATLians is a personal feel. I told you objectively I would put them on the same level. It wouldn't parse them too far ahead. And ATLians is more of the rapidy rap album, like the hip hop based formula album. And so that's why I'm saying, so this is what I mean about how the nuances of the game, a lot of what people are affected by is their personal circumstances and situations. You get what I'm saying? Part of why Southern Playalistic is so special to me, it's that it was a piece of my childhood that I lost that got taken from me. You know what I'm saying? That I got to listen to when I moved to Charlotte. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel you. Yeah. Those are some very important things. Let me see something.
Yeah, it stays with you. It stays with you different. It's like I was in Charlotte, like when ATLians came out on West Boulevard. I remember where I was at the first time I heard ATLians in Boulevard Homes. You know what I'm saying? But when I was listening to Southern Playalistic, I'm sitting in my cousin's room and I'm missing Atlanta. I ain't seen Atlanta in a year and a half. Atlanta's all I know. They got me on some country-ass back road in South Carolina, and then they stuck me on the west side of Charlotte. I've been on the east side of Atlanta and in downtown Atlanta my whole fucking life.
Facts. You know what? We're about to get Shadé in a second. I'm going to have to send her an email with it. Eric Terrell with the Super Chat says, Kendrick, Shadé singing, production by Q-Tip. Plus he can flow. See, I think that everybody's kind of picking singers that can rap or producers that can rap as well. That makes it exciting.
I just want people that blend well together.
I mean, I think my combination of Tupac, Laurin, and Kanye would be very interesting. And Kanye can give you some bars.
You can sub Kanye and Dilla out with those two because it falls in the same realm. I'm just thinking my drums are going to be better. Your songwriting might be a little better.
Yeah. Jay Short with the Super Chat says, last week we said Diddy and Ye were the first non-MC stars. I forgot about Easy. Yeah. And everyone knew that he had ghostwriters and didn't care. You're right. I think
Easy didn't have a great voice. He was a star.
You don't think he had a great voice?
I don't think he had a traditional great rap voice. It's a great voice now looking back at it, but it was more about his charisma. Like I remember Easy's charisma more than anything. It jumped off the screen. You know, We Want Easy is one of the first rap videos I remember, Mike.
I was thinking the same thing. Me too.
Yeah, we're the same age, so of course. We Want Easy is one of the first things we saw on Yo MTV Raps on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's one of those, I mean, it looks so old school and it just reminds you of your childhood.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, there we go. I'm going to add her in real quick.
For those who don't know, We Want Easy got taken because it's really We Want Boosie.
Oh, yeah, I think people know that. People don't know that? They got to know that.
You never know anymore, Mark.
You never know anymore. I think we got another person in. Let's see. Is Shadé in here? Just waiting on her to answer. It says she's unavailable. Okay. Well, when she comes in, she comes in.
Well, you got her. Did you just see her? I think she just jumped up on our chat.
Yeah. I just sent her what I needed to send her. It showed up on the screen over here, but you know, I guess when she's available to pop in, and then it'll pop in on the screen for the people here. Let me get this super chat. Hassan Sykes with the super chat says, "Brothers, so stingy and got short arms and deep pockets. Oh yeah, just killing it. Smacking brothers with the Mason-Dixon line chord. Come on, man. Jizza.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Even his verse on Shadowboxing, man, like.
I slayed MCs back in a rec room era. My style broke motherfucking backs like him for terror. Most rap niggas came loud but unheard. Once they fall out, round them off to the nearest third. Check these non-visual niggas with tapes in a portrait. Flood the seminar trying to orbit this corporate industry for what the niggas can't see must come through like the Wu unexpectedly. Protect your neck. My sword still remains imperial. Before I blast the mic. RZA,
Scratch off the cereal. We rain all year round from June to June. When niggas bite immediately, if not soon.
Set the lynching and form the execution date has its 2000 and beyond slang suffocate. Amplified sample through vacuum tubes compression cause RZA. Charge niggas 20 G's a session.
Yo, and so we never talk about that.
It sounds like he might whoop that ass and he's very awake. It sounds like it's okay to be gangsta and conscious when it's Wu-Tang Clan or when it's Nas. How about when Rakim's on Know the Ledge? Is he conscious or is he gangsta? Because it sounds like he's a both. Sip the juice. I got enough to go around. And the thought takes place uptown.
I grew up on the sidewalk,
we're out on the street talking and on the whole New York. And go to Queensboro, Manhattan to Brooklyn. You get what I'm saying? That's street shit.
What do you say? I go to Queens.
Like a conscious dude.
I go to Queens for Queens to get the crew from Brooklyn. Make money in Manhattan and never been tooken. Go uptown to the Bronx and boogie down. Get strong on the island, recoup and lay around. Time to build my juice back up.
The troops back up. Woo. Brothers stack up. Brothers getting smacked up. No bout the clout. They know what I'm about.
Knocking niggas
off. Knocking niggas out. Shaking them up. Breaking them up. Waking them up. Shaking them up. Standing on shaky ground too close to the edge. Let's see if I know the ledge. It sounds like he's very gangster and very woke.
I'm killing this name. Alkabeline says, have y'all ever addressed the fact that Meet Joe Black clearly is a Jay-Z diss song? I think we may have.
Why does everybody keep saying that? Do you hear that when you hear that? See, this is what I'm saying.
The only reason why.
That's more of a media diss than a Jay diss to me. That's the media that did that. That's not Jay. Hov didn't do that.
I was just about to say, I think the reason why people take it in that way is because the only person that it feels like very one-sided. The only person that is continuously
he could be talking about is Jay, right?
Yeah, it's like the only person that's continuously saying, I'm king, I'm king, I'm king, I am him, I am this and that, is Jay. And when anybody refutes that, or not anybody, if Nas says he's king, then people automatically say, this is about Jay. Could be just friendly competition, friendly fire.
Here's how I look at it.
Okay, break it down.
Traditionally speaking, when it comes to kings, well, people have to understand this. It's like, well, there was a king of Belgium. You know what I'm saying? It's a king of Spain, king of France, king of England. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. King of Zamunda. I'm just joking. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, but to be real, we can go back to Mansa Musa, being the king of Mali. You know what I'm saying? We can go back to what's his name? The Chinese ruler that had shit on lock.
I'm listening to you.
Ming Dynasty, the Ming Dynasty.
Right.
Zhao Han. I don't know how to say the names properly. I don't want to be disrespectful and not enunciate properly. But, it was okay throughout the history of time for kings to exist from different lands. Part of the thing that
well, Nas did say it's one life, one love, so there can only be one king. So the in hip hop, the standard has been set.
I think that's the competitive standard that's been set. It's based on that line. And you're probably right about that. But think about the context of when that's getting said. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Well, we don't really operate under those statutes and circumstances anymore because the crop is different. When Nas is saying that, it's 96. People are just now starting to recognize Andre and Scarface as like top-notch MC. So when he's saying one life, one love, one king, that's a very New York state of mind perspective.
I was thinking that.
From somebody that's only seen Slick Rick and Kane and Big and him and Rakim.
I think also
it's very contrived. He's keeping it to about 8 to 10 guys. It's like, well, the game don't operate like that anymore.
I think also it's very generational too, and I think those guys
better to have a king of Brooklyn and a king of Queens and a king of Long Island and a king of Staten Island.
Nah, it's got to be a king of New York, and I think Biggie kind of set that off too, and I think it's generational as well. So it's like, they're not going to go back and forth with somebody from the 80s. Or they're not going to go back and forth with somebody like in Kendrick's era. But when it comes to them two, one of them has to be the guy. And you know what? Honestly, I'm going to just keep it all the way real. I know that Leroy Green's going to hate me for this. One guy's showing and proving it through music, and the other guy's just talking about it. And I say that respectfully.
No, you are saying it respectfully because I get what you're saying. You're saying one guy's still playing in the league and sitting up here making first team All NBA and winning MVP and like championships still, like at an old ass age.
Yeah.
Like, how about this? You want to know what he just did with Magic? That would have been the equivalent of LeBron having the season that he had last year in like his 19th, 20th season, like getting 36 and 8. I think what was it, 30 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if he would have done that and actually won the championship. That's kind of what Magic is.
Yeah.
Well, if the team would have been better and would have been a higher seed, how about this? If that team would have been a top 3 seed, he would have won MVP.
Yeah.
Imagine if he would have done that and they would have went to the playoffs and won a championship. That's kind of what Magic is. And so if you're trying to just make it about those two, I get what you're saying, but it's like, that's why I told you, Mike, it's not a conversation right now until Jay makes an album that's comparable to KD 1, 2, or Magic.
And not saying he can't do it. He's just not doing it. He needs to at least
check one of those boxes, which means you need to make a 4, a 4.5, or a 5.
I don't see it happening. I'm just going to be honest. And I can't, listen, I'm not just saying that either, but with 444 and Holy Grail in the most recent memory, it's hard for me to believe that it can happen. You know, the Blueprint 3 just celebrated.
I felt that way about Nas, and I'm a Nas fan. So it's like, that's what I'm telling you. It's like, no, it's not fair. It's not fair to Jay to say that can't happen, because as somebody that thought Nas was the best MC of all time before this run, Mike, all this done, I told you, all this is done is cement what I felt inside, because I've always felt like he was better the entirety of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But understand, if you're on the other side, you feel the same way about Jay. And the only thing I have to say that is like, no, just give me some evidence so we can continue to have the conversation. Because right now, on my side, I have evidence and you don't. But if you feel like he can make it and will make it and should make it, you should feel that way the same way that I do. Mike, I was going ape shit when I heard Katie. Mike, you have the text messages of me texting you. I'm like, what? I was like, I thought it was over. I was like, I thought Life is Good was the last great piece of work we was going to get out of here.
We had no expectations for Katie.
I was okay with Life is Good being the last great piece of work that we were going to get out of him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, this is the thing, man. And the Blueprint 3 just celebrated 13 years the other day. 13 years, man. And that's the last time that we got, you know, a Jay-Z album of the standard of what we're accustomed, what we hold Jay-Z high for. You know, 444 is a cool album. And I think that I'm not a huge fan of it, right? It's not a bad album. It's not one of them albums I'm going to say is a bad album. Let me let Shadé know I sent this. It's not an album that I would say is a bad album, but let's just be perfectly honest. If another MC came out with 444, it would just be another album. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be real. Like, we can't just sit here and elevate an album because of who made it. CJ Kid with the super chat says, would you guys ever collect all the albums that got 5 mics and those that got 5 mics later on and rank them from best to worst and do a tournament and let people decide what's the best 5 mic album? I think that's really interesting. I don't like the fact the Source went back and
I don't like the revisit, and they didn't get all the revisits right because they didn't give Liquid Sword 5 mics. I think we got Shadé up in here, Mike, because I can see her. I think you need to jump her in. Yeah, I can see her, but she's not come up on the screen like the audience to see her.
Let me see. If
you need to kick me out even so you can kind of like, chat and wrap it up with her right quick. That's cool.
I don't think it should do that. Let's see. Let me go ahead and
you
know what? I'm gonna get y'all to do it. Let's see. Let me get all screens popping. Probably got me on here twice. Yeah.
No, I mean I'm watching from my iPad right now.
Yeah, let me get that one off. You know what? I'll let y'all go ahead and chop it up. Go ahead.
Well, I don't think the people can see her yet. Can the people see her?
See her? I see her. I think the people see her on the screen.
Well, cool. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, Mike, we can see you twice. You're right.
Oh, no, I cut myself out.
No, it's cool. Shadé, how are you?
I'm cool. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing good. You know, we dropped your top 5 video on YouTube. Mike dropped it earlier.
Yeah, make sure you say Shadé the artist and not Shadé, because some people
Right, Shadé the artist. I'm sorry.
Oh
Shadé
yeah,
the
let me
artist.
do that.
Well, you want to
Yeah.
know what? I went through the comments. That's what I wanted to talk to you about, because I never understood why you called yourself Shadé the artist until I went into some of the comments and people was like, well, I was expecting Shadé. And I'm thinking like, well, Mike put a YouTube image up, and obviously that's not the Shadé that we all grew up with on the image. So it's like, I don't know what Shadé they were expecting, but now I understand why you call yourself Shadé the artist. So kind of like, you know, tell the people who you are, what you do, and jump off into the whole Shadé the artist thing. And also like, you know, how you got your name Shadé, because I'm pretty certain that, you know, you probably have a story behind it like most people do. They're named after the infamous artist, I would assume.
Yeah. So of course my name is Shadé. I put the artist because besides just being musically inclined, that I'm just into art. Like in general, like I say, art is my first language. So I do portraiture, face painting for kids' parties, body painting, makeup, you know, anything that's pretty much art. But I especially love music and writing lyrics and putting together concepts. So yeah, that's why I decided to put the artist, especially because I knew if I just put, well, first off, it was impossible to do just Shadé. And I was just trying to figure out if there was a way to keep my name and
I think your sound went out, Shadé.
Yeah, you went out on something on us, Shadé. We can't hear you.
better over here.
Yeah, we hear you.
But
there we go. We can hear you now.
My earphones went off, but what was I gonna?
Okay. I think the signal went out. I think she went out for a second.
Okay.
See if we can get back in. Let me get to these super chats while we're waiting for Shadé to get back. CJ Kid with the super chat says, Coop, what are the names of your albums so I can find them? What's the name of your album so you can find it? What's the one that's on iTunes?
The ones on iTunes is just called American Beauty, The Untold Story. The other one is called The Souls of Black Folks, after the book that W.E.B. Du Bois wrote. That's the stuff that was getting me the real looks. I just never released it. It's just, you know, it's hanging in the vaults. You know what I'm saying? But my best stuff is actually on there. But there's some dope stuff on American Beauty. I recorded half of that album in Cali and half of that album in Atlanta. The year before, the 2 years before my daughter was born, and the first 3-4 months of her life.
Hassan Sykes with the super chat says, Jizza is the best lyrics to me out of the Wu-Tang. Because to me, a lyricist out of the Wu-Tang. I mean, the Wu-Tang members will tell you that. Alkabeen says, give me the kiss, give me the bees, billions, and give me the flow back. That's a J diss, bro. Give me the keys, give me the bees, give me the flow back. Huh. That's a J diss.
That's very insightful.
Huh.
See, I don't want to fan any flames, though. And also, too, we're already looked at too much like a Nas channel. So...
Trying to balance it out.
I'm back.
You back? You back? Okay, hold on. Let me get you back. All right, there we go.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem was.
Oh, it's cool. It happens.
So should I continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, jump right.
Yeah, we were just jumping back in the show.
We deal with technical difficulties all the time.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm an artist, and what did I say? The type of music I go for is generally, I guess, pop, but I really like to pay home to international sounds that I heard, you know, through my life, and then also like to African American culture. I like all the different genres. I like music from pretty much every decade. So, I hope to incorporate that when I release my music and people get to see why I kept my name Shadé, but added the artist.
What's your favorite hip-hop album? I wanted to know that.
You said what?
What's your favorite hip-hop album?
What's my favorite hip-hop album? Let me think about that. But I feel like, I said that in my top, And I don't want to repeat it because people are so offended by my answers. Because I am more new generation, as some people pointed out.
No, that's fine.
No, that's dope.
So, okay, cool. So, I don't know onto the top of my head, but if I had to say, since Kendrick is my top artist, what my favorite album from him would be, I think it would be Damn. I like a lot of albums, to be honest. I'm really not a type of person to choose one thing because I really like to take the best from everything and make a better, like, formula. But, yeah, I really loved Damn. I felt like it was... Because sometimes Kendrick's style can be abstract, and so it's hard for people to consume. Like, I feel like To Pimp a Butterfly was really hard for a lot of my peers to really understand. Like, they were like, that wasn't the album for me because it would just, I think, was too creative for them necessarily to understand. They kind of wanted more catchy instantly. So I felt like Dan was, like, a good bridge. Like, I liked the poetry. The first track was Blood, and it was talking about liberty. And I just love the music, the scene. I liked a lot of the hypnotic harmonies that were in the beginning of a lot of songs that were really dark and twisted. And so, yeah, I would say Damn is definitely an album that I listened to probably over 50 times in a row, like in a time frame, you know? So
wow,
maybe 100 overall. Yeah, no, I listen to a lot of songs over and over again, so I really mean it when I said I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan. Like, all the words, the way they meet the music really speaks to me and, like, inspires me to make music that touches other people as much as it touched me. So, yeah.
Tell us what you have going on musically right now. I know you've been talking about, putting some work together. So what is it that you're doing musically right now? Tell me where you're at with it. And also talk some more about, like, the face painting and the body painting and what inspired you to do that. And are you a makeup artist as well? I was going to ask you that too.
I do makeup. I don't claim to be a makeup artist, but I definitely beat faces on a professional level. But
Okay.
listen, the first question you were saying was the music. What the music do? Well, I have a lot of written work, and I have a producer that's really compatible with me. It's been interesting because I've just kind of been in the midst of finding out how important it is to learn the legalities of every aspect of the music industry. I'm trying to figure out how I land, because now I realize being strategic about the beginning to the end is, like, really important. So I'm trying to put together a plan to make everything stick the right way. I really trust in my music. Like, I know I'm a good songwriter. I sing a lot for people right now. I'm just doing it on the local level because I'm trying to get things together. I used to be a part of a duet, and so I performed a lot with my partner back then. But since I've been alone, I think I just been really critical about how I move forward. But I feel like God has really helped me add layers, and my songwriting has gotten better. And I don't know, I just feel like everything's where it needs to be. So I really can't wait to produce my music, because a lot of my music is around community, and I really want it to be the reason why my top 5 are my top 5 is because I'm the type of artist I really like to, I care about what the Black experience is, everybody's experience, but I really particularly care about the Black experience, how the music's affecting us as a culture and where we need to go as a culture, like in actual life. And so I really want my music to help inspire people and give people consciousness in a way to help us, I guess, be liberated. And also I would like to, the way that Kanye kind of got to give diversity for Black male identity in music versus, like, when in a time frame where it was, like, more like Black men had to be kind of more gangsters or in the street or rap hard or sound a certain type of way. I kind of want to do that for Black women, because I feel like sometimes we get stuck of niche and serious. And I just feel like if there was a more playful nature, maybe there'd be an easier way to have conversations around culture that really need to be had. So, yeah, sorry, that was long-winded.
No.
Oh, yeah. So try to get the content together, have songs that are written, and just trying to figure out the right producers so that songs actually come out the way that they need to.
How did you feel about the responses and the reactions to your top 5 video? I know, tell us a little bit about your experience with it. You're going to be doing some stuff with us in the future. That's kind of why we're bringing you on right now. So tell the people a little bit about what that experience was like for you and what you think of the comments, because I thought some of the comments that have been made since you dropped the video have been hilarious, quite frankly.
No, I thought it was hilarious too. It kind of gave me a little anxiety because I was like, ooh, makes me kind of want to.
It's the internet. People are unforgiving. Yep.
But no, I enjoyed it still. I mean, I was trying to, I was thinking about responding to everyone, not in a like a rude way or anything like that, but just like genuinely, like it's really funny to me. So I really can honestly respond in jest with people. Some people I definitely understood like their opinion. It was varying. It was some positive, some wouldn't say negative, but just diversified. But either way, it did make me think about my name a little bit more. So if you wanted to make a point, I definitely message received. And then thinking about my top list, I'm like, all right, first off, I do listen to almost every generation of music, and I know a lot of music, and I probably know sometimes more music than people in their own time frame, because that's how much I listen to music from different time frames and different cultures. So please don't come for me, because, yeah, I know my stuff. But what was I going to say? But, yeah, no, the reason why I had chosen my list was because they were people in modern time that I felt like I could emulate. So I chose them for relativity to my creative process. I mean, just meant in terms of people being like, why was that my one top?
No, see, that was the thing about it. It's like, I liked your list because your list was different than the typical list, because it's like, well, you're not going to find a list that has Stevie Wonder and Solange on it at the same time. That's reaching back, even... you're younger than Mike and I, so that's reaching back even before our time when you're talking Stevie. Like Stevie's last truly like great classic piece of work that's considered to be classic by the masses, like got released the year Mike and I were born. So that's 40 years old. Yeah. And so the fact that somebody like you, and I don't want to give up your age or something, but you're younger than Mike and I. So the fact that you even like were able to like contextualize Stevie and Solange like kind of speaks to some of the depth that you're talking about. You know what I mean? And so I found the fact that you even stuck to Stevie that way fascinating, because quite frankly, we don't find too many people in your demographic age-wise, even if they are musical artists, that are drawn to Stevie on that level.
Yeah, no, he's a lyrical genius, so I feel like if you hear him...
He was on a few levels.
As Michael would call him, a musical prophet. As Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Most definitely. Definitely get that vibe.
But yeah, we just wanted to throw you on right quick and let you kind of like start meeting the people. Shout out to you for doing the video. It takes a lot. We're going to get with Ron soon and get some more rolling for you. And, we got some things in the work. We just wanted you to pull up today and kind of show love to the people. And also for the people, we're working on something with Shadé and our senior writer, Denim, as well, that we're going to be having for the people real soon. So y'all stay tuned and stay plugged to that. According to hip hop is growing and expanding. So
definitely.
And becoming and delving into things that aren't even necessarily hip hop related anymore. Mike and I have some sports stuff coming. Shadé and Denim are about to have I have a wonderful new concept that we're working on coming, and we're just putting all the pieces together. So, thank you for being part of this, Shadé.
Definitely.
Mike, you got something?
I'm excited.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you as well. Everybody stay tuned. We're going to have some big things coming. But yeah, great stuff. I love the top 5, by the way. Yeah. Great job.
Yay!
I love the conversation that it sparked, because it sparked conversation.
Ooh, yeah, I was so surprised. I was like, oh, they feeling it.
So you're gonna find this out as you kind of like work with us some more and kind of grow with us. These people are passionate, and they'll stand on their sentiments the same way that you will stand on yours. But that's part of what makes it so engaging, so important, and so challenging. I mean, Mike and I change each other's opinions and thoughts all the time, and we've even had artists change our opinions. We've had guests change our opinions. Like I have relationships with some of these guys now where like they pop up on the DMs if I pop off too much on somebody. I'd be like, yo, you went too far, Coop. You went too far. It's like, I know you, Coop. You went too far. It's like, oh, did I go too far? Did I go too far? And that's the beautiful part about it when you're sharing that passion with people. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, we're going to get back to the rest of the show. But yeah, thanks for dropping in, though.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Thank you guys for having me. See y'all again
all right,
soon.
all day.
Yeah. We'll talk to you soon in the chat with Dan. We got to get rolling soon.
All right.
Okay.
Man, great stuff. Back to the super chat real quick. Sean Lindsay says, lyrics are weak, like clock radio speakers. Listen, man.
Jizza, look what's forward. I told you, Mike.
Listen, can you imagine if Jizza, and shout out to Shadé for dropping in. Shadé,
when he said, while your plane fell with the rail like Amtrak, that's when Amtrak had the accident when it fell off the rail. Yeah. While your plane fell with the rail like Amtrak with the fuck for. Down below a make law.
I went ahead and changed that too, by the way. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I went ahead and changed to Shadé the artist while we're on here. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Please do that. Because that was one of the things that I saw. It's like, I wasn't even expecting flack by that because you want to know what? I took that as like really, really big respect. Because you didn't even tell me that you dropped her video. But when you dropped it and I finally got a chance to go into the comments, because I got in there late, I was like, people actually think enough of us to think that we actually got the real Shadé to come on recording the hip hop. It's that's like, love. Mike, I'm not even going to tell people the MCs that we were supposed to interview this year that haven't pulled up on us. It's like, but if we can't get them, we damn sure can't get Shadé.
36 Chambers with the super chat says, is there a separate category for MCs who are on that conscious street vibe talk? A lot of artists blend the two so well. They fall into both camps. It's funny you say that because Coop and I just had a conversation earlier today. We were talking about point guards and combo guards. Mm-hmm. And I told him, like, I'm not comfortable with saying that Steph is an all-time point guard because if I put him in that position in an all-time lineup, he can't operate the point guard position as great as some of the other great point guards. And so Coop said, we got to have a combo guard category for Steph, Iverson, a few others. And so maybe there's a category for the conscious and street.
Hold on, let's go to the Harden point that I made though. It's like, but if we're making a combo guard category, I was like, isn't Harden technically better than Steph Curry, seeing how he has led this league in assists and scoring?
Harden's a different individual.
Like Iverson has led this league in scoring and steals.
Mm-hmm. Jay Short with the super chat says, me and my homie been debating since '99 if Guns and Tariq and Peter Guns could really flow. Who is right?
Somewhere in the middle.
I like Peter Guns between the two.
Shit, I like his son. Yeah, you really want to know the truth.
Eric Terrell with the super chat
says, Corey, right? Isn't it Corey?
Yeah, Corey Guns.
Yeah, Corey nicer than both of them, so who cares?
He really is. Eric Terrell with the super chat says, how do you feel about the Kilo sample that Beyonce used on America Has a Problem? Is Kilo still popping in 2022? Kilo seems to be pretty happy about it. I think I followed Kilo on Facebook, and I think that Kilo was paid, so I like it for that. Cocaine is a classic in the city of Atlanta. Do you remember when that came out? Were you in Atlanta then?
Yes. So is Do You Hear What I Hear? Oh, that was my 5th grade year. Yeah. Do you hear what I hear? That boom, that boom. Oh, I like that boom. Yeah, come on. Stop
the days when we thought the whole world was listening to the music that we were hearing, but they weren't.
Man, we was yeek. We were literally doing the yeek in the gym to Do You Hear What I Hear?
Yeah.
In between the coach like whooping our ass and like fucking us up and making our lives miserable on the east side.
Right. We love those records, man. Katie with the super chat says, another MC makes a 444 and it's called Life is Good.
People on one tonight. That's cool.
Listen,
That's what's up.
Nas is ahead of Jay right now. We need another Jay-Z album. It is what it is. But I don't feel like we're going to get that. Now, I think that you're saying that it's not fair to Jay-Z for me to say that. I'm not saying we can't get that. I just don't think we are going to get that. And I think that the reason why I feel that way is because they're still hyping up this 4-minute verse. Lupe Fiasco did a whole breakdown of it. Like, can we stop talking about this verse now?
No, I don't want to compare it to this verse. See, here's the thing. There are moments on Nasir, and how about this? There have been moments like Echo off Swiss Beats album, Major Key off Khaled's album.
Yeah.
Moments on the Nasir album that when I hear KD1, it's like not totally surprised. Capable. Right. Echo and Nas' album Done is evidence that no, he still got some of it in there. It's like it's almost like, do you remember Wade at the end? Where it's like some nights Wade could go get you 30 and then other nights Wade would get you 10.
Yeah.
That's how I was starting to feel about Nas. But then Echo and Nas' album Done happened. And that's when I started being like, he made those tracks the same year. It's like
Echo is special.
Echo's special. I told you Echo might be the best rap song that year. But when I heard him make those two songs,
it's a strong one.
I heard him make 2 full songs. Listen, I heard him take them. He made those 2. You heard it too, Mike. He made those 2 full songs in the same year, and it made you think, oh, no. It's still in there. You just don't know that it's in there for an album. Then you hear Nasir, and it has its moments, and it's like, no, he still got it. But it makes you think like, but he's never going to have it like that again. And then KD1 plays, and it's like, oh, no. He still has it. That was practice.
Yeah. And when KD1 came out, I'm
that's
like,
his practice. No, Jay's on that same level. And so that's what I'm saying is like, I don't know how much time he's spending with Beyonce and the kids. But if he's going to get back outside and practice, Mike.
This is the thing, though, Coop.
It's doable because he's great on the same level. I'm not saying it like Nas is winning in some blowout. It's not like it's some blowout.
This is the thing.
He's capable.
Coop. Jay-Z's not going to drop 3 albums. He's not. That's not happening.
How about this? Okay, so how about this? Well, let me submit something.
He might drop 1. He's not dropping 3 albums in 3 years. He's not doing that.
What if he drops 1 album and it's better than KD1 and KD2, but not as good as Magic? What are people gonna say?
Well, people are gonna say that he's the greatest ever if he does that.
Thank you.
But I don't think he's even gonna do that.
So Nas is in the unfortunate position, even though he's better and in the lead of having to do more.
Well, you know what the advantage is? KD3 is on the way.
It's very problematic. Yeah. I just forgot about that. I let KD3 go because they on tour, and it doesn't look like KD3 is coming until the tour is over.
CJ Kid with the super chat says, "Just listen to your stuff, Coop. I'm shocked, to be honest. They done went and listened to the stuff during the show." Eric Terrell with the super chat says, if you do die young, who care? If you do die young, who care? All I ever got was mean mug and cold stairs. Yeah, I'm reading that all wrong. Hold on. If I do die young,
who cares? All I ever got was mean mugs and cold stairs. Those are bars.
Bars. I can't see in this studio, man. It's dark as hell in here. I need my glasses. I need my Coop glasses. Jay Short with the super chat says, I move with the speed and strength of ants.
Jizza's bars. It's bars.
Too advanced.
They're bars ever. Mike, you want to know I'm surprised somebody ain't super chatted? The nigga don't get mad. I got mad styles of my own, and it's shown when my hands grip the chrome microphone.
Crazy.
Verbally up.
Mad Max with the super chat says, best combo guards, Steph, Oscar, Jerry West, and Coop Harden is not better than Steph. Come on now, bro.
I didn't say, I said technically. That's what I'm saying. So,
on paper,
Mike,
right?
You and I had this conversation earlier. Like, Iverson's MVP season is better than both of Steph's MVP seasons. Harden's MVP season. Some of LeBron's MVP seasons.
Now that I disagree with. Steph's MVP season is one of the greatest seasons I've ever seen. The one where he hit like 423.
Allen Iverson, Allen Iverson at our height won an MVP while Tim Duncan was in his prime. Kevin Garnett was in his prime. Shaquille O'Neal was in his prime. Kobe Bryant was in his prime. Tracy McGrady was in his prime. And that 6-foot guy won an MVP while all those guys were in their prime and took a team to the finals. No.
It's very impressive. But that's 73.
Put Clay
Did he go
and
73
Draymond,
and 9?
Put Clay and Draymond with Iverson that season, and we have a 7-game series against the Lakers, and Shaq needs to get 40 and 20 for them to win.
73 and 9, man. Come on,
Ain't
man.
nobody trying to hear that shit, Mike.
Come on, man. And you know what? I was hard on Steph when it comes to, you know, his clutch performances.
Mike, 73 and 9. No, Mike, 73 and 9 got them down 3-1 to OKC and up 3-1 and choking. So they should have lost twice.
Listen to me, Coop. Listen to me, Coop. No. Now in the
play season is better. He averaged more assists. He averaged more points.
You're talking about two different things. You're talking about two different things. In that regular season, Steph was on some other shit, and he was only playing 3 quarters.
Iverson was on some other shit.
No, he was only playing 3 quarters, Coop. We had never seen anybody make that many threes ever, not even close. He only played 3 quarters of those games. Team went 73 and 9. Now, in the playoffs, yeah, he was different, and that's why I say that about Steph. But in that regular season, he was hitting game winners from half court, man. Shit was crazy.
Mike.
That was an incredible season.
Steph and Wade are the same height. Iverson is our height. It's not the same degree of difficulty.
No, granted. Sorry. I'll give you that.
Hold on. Shortest player to win MVP. People keep forgetting that. Shortest player to win MVP.
I didn't even know that was a stat, but okay. It matters.
Mike, who you got? Who got an MVP award? At fucking 6 feet, that's really 5'10".
Right. I hear he's 5'10". Incredible season. But I got to give Steph season.
I've been in the club next to this nigga in Atlanta my whole life. He's our height.
Incredible.
Mike, I'm going to tell you something even worse than that. He's our size when we were in our 20s. So he's short
small.
And he's slim.
Yeah, he was small.
And he went out there and averaged 30 and led the league in steals and scoring.
And took the team
to the finals with no fucking Clay around. No. Iverson's MVP season is better than both of Steph's seasons. Degree of difficulty, Mike. Shaq and Kobe were running around. Tim Duncan's running around. Kevin Garnett's running around.
CJ Kidd with a super chat says, at this point, can Jizza...
Grayson Kidd's running around.
Is it at this point, can Jizza beat Nas bar for bar?
I told you we need to do that Liquid Swords Illmatic. I told you that Liquid Swords Illmatic on Patreon. What you need to do is you need to subscribe to our Patreon channel.
Because should do that.
The thing that I want to do. So, no, somebody posed the question, is Liquid Swords lyrically better than Illmatic? And I'm like, it might be.
It could be.
Put the bars out. Bring the bars out.
Bring the bars out.
Problem.
Mad Max with the super chat says, cool. 2016 Steph averaged 30. Shooting 50, 40, and 90. Allen Iverson was never Steph Curry level. Iverson couldn't even play with Melo. Let me finish. Cool. Let me finish it real quick. He said Allen Iverson couldn't even play with Melo. But now is give him Clay and Draymond. Iverson wouldn't even get them the ball. What do you say to that?
First of all, Iverson played with Melo for a season and a half. So let's stop making
They played great together, too. Iverson got shafted.
I'm about to say, they did great together. They were like a 3 or 4 seed in the playoffs in the one full year they actually played together.
They replaced him with Chauncey, and Chauncey got all the credit. And when you look at it, they had the same.
And then he got traded. But both of those guys averaged 26 points and went to the second round.
And they had the same record with Iverson that they had with Chauncey.
They did with Chauncey. Yeah. Correct.
Actually, I think they might have won one more game. So Iverson got shafted in that situation.
I'm not even concerned with that. That's not even anybody that watched that knows what time it is. Yeah. It's like, no, put Steph Curry on that Philly team. He's not averaging 30 points.
He's not going.
He's not shooting 50% from the floor. He's not shooting 40% from the three.
No, you're right.
He's not.
Now I will say this. Now where Clay really does come in this conversation, Clay makes it easier for Steph to get a shot off. Yeah.
Spacey.
You got the second best shooter of all time over here. So it helps.
No, so think about this.
There was no other offensive threat for Iverson.
No, Iverson isn't the shooter that Steph or Clay is. They're both on the court together, and you're telling me it's the same thing. No, first of all, we don't know what Steph looks like without an all-time great shooter next to him. And when he has two of those people, they're unbeatable. That's what I'm saying. Iverson wasn't even a shooter, and he put up Steph comparable numbers without the team, without the organization, without the structure against stiffer competition.
Well, Clay
ain't
wasn't
nobody
all-time
running around
great
here
this
like
year.
Shaq and Kobe or fucking Tim Duncan.
Well, you
These
know
guys
what?
are
I
not
will
Tim
say
Duncan,
this,
Shaq, or Kobe.
I will say this. Clay wasn't all-time great this year. He was a regular guy this year.
Neither was. Hold on. You want to know what the problem with this finals was?
Boston
Was that all Boston really needed was for Jason Tatum to be great, not even all-time great. Jason Tatum just needed to be great, and he couldn't do that.
Boston wet the bed. Let's be real.
Oh, how about this? How you feel about Steph in that series versus Toronto? Kawhi and Steph. That was a Kawhi and Steph straight-up series. How did that go?
Straight up.
So he's not even Kawhi level. Kawhi's not even Durant and LeBron level all-time or Giannis level.
I can't argue that. 36 with the super chat.
No, what happened when he didn't have Clay and KD and he had to play Kawhi and Fred VanVleet and who? Siakam?
36 Chambers says, GZA considered by some to be the strongest lyrical performer in the Wu-Tang, including members of the Wu-Tang. What are your thoughts on him versus Ghost versus Ray? I think it becomes an entertainment value thing. And I think for me, I'd rather hear Ghost specifically. Now, between GZA and Ray, I think I'd rather hear Ray.
They're exciting. Ray and Ghost are exciting. That's why you'd rather hear them more than GZA, even though GZA's lyrically better than both of them. They're exciting. That's why I keep bringing up that excitement factor matter. Up in the MGM, coked up, psych. 6 niggas walked in, flashing their gems. Peace, all right? No, you're in. We're in. Yeah. We're in. We're going on the ride.
I mean, look at the older guys. All 3 of them on there.
Well, hold on.
Ghost is the most entertaining.
But who gets you excited?
Hey, yo, I roll like a bat out of hell. Evil acapels, fly spitting out of my grills. Yeah.
We like Dorothy Hamill on ice. We might circle.
Hats down low in the rain. All right, Jay Short with the super chat says,
shit exciting.
Al got to the finals because VC went to graduation day of Game 7.
Ain't nobody trying to hear all that. Ain't nobody trying to hear that.
And the NBA screwed.
He said in the NBA, and Glenn Robinson were on the same team and lost to him.
He said in the NBA screwed a better Bucks team because Stern wanted Philly and LA in the finals. Conspiracy.
Sam Cassell, Ray Allen. Tell me why a team that had Sam Cassell, Ray Allen, and Glenn Robinson in their prime had any business even going 7 games with Allen Iverson's team.
Man, Max,
that's what I'm talking about, how great he was.
Yeah.
Like Vince Carter's team and Milwaukee Bucks teams should have been taking out the Sixers 4-1. That's their fault.
Mad Max of the super chat says Steph won with LeBron, KD, Russ, Harden, Kawhi running around. Steph over AI. It's not even close.
No, Steph won when Kyrie and Kevin Love got hurt, and then they called on KD.
You got AI over. You got Wade over AI.
The first ring that's on him.
Who you got, Wade or Iverson?
The first ring is an injury ring. The next 2 rings are the KD rings. This ring is his ring. So he's like D Wade status.
Speaking of
D
Wade,
so like top 2025.
Speaking of D Wade,
like if you really want to start placement, I told you Shaq got 3 rings, Kobe got 2 rings. You understand what I'm saying?
Speaking of D Wade, who you got, D Wade or Iverson?
D Wade.
Okay.
The rings.
Eric Terrell says, best show in the business podcast. OutKast, Mike is Big Boy, Coop is 3,000.
I don't know. I be showing up to work. I be here. I be performing. I be doing the shit that I say that I'm going to do. I be rapping all the time.
Mad Max of the super chat says, LOL, Billups went there and they were in the Western Conference Finals. Billups was the real winner. AI was just Chuck, 30-point score, shooting 35%. AI is 38%. So overrated.
38%. Get your shit right. 38%.
CJ the Kid with the super chat says Nas was submitted a verse for investigative reports, but never got used. Only then could we have saw Prime GZA versus Prime Nas. Shaking my head. Man, that would have been awesome, man. Investigative reports, and that would have been, once again, Nas being on a lyrical masterpiece in a 1995 Wu project. Mad Max with the super chat.
No, imagine this. If he's on Liquid Swords, he's on the best 3 lyrical projects of 1995. That would be the infamous The Purple Tape and Liquid Swords.
Incredible. Mad Max in the super chat says Steph averaged 30 last year with Clay out. Made Clay. Steph gives players Shaq level space.
First of all,
if
Steph
he
didn't
drops
average 30.
47,
Who's saying that? That's a lie.
If he drops
30, LeBron averaged 30. KD literally missed averaging 30 by 7 points and averaged 29.9. Steph didn't average no damn 30 points. Stop doing that shit. You see what I'm saying? How people be changing shit? Steph averaged 30. No, he didn't.
He said if he drops 47 on the Raptors when they did a box, one didn't want a box to stop him, huh?
They did the box and
ones to stop him, yeah.
Hey, let me tell you what happens when you do a box and one against Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or LeBron James or Kevin Durant. You lose.
He shouldn't be able to be stopped that easy.
Right, that's what I'm saying. A box and one.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that a college-style defense can stop what he does.
Right.
If he doesn't have his wingmen. Like, if he's the front man and Durant and Clay were the wingman, when he didn't have his wingman, how did it go? It went 4-2, right?
Right. Born King with the super chat says they screwed us in ATL and in the 3 Chambers tour and Ghost, Ray, and Jizza. Shaking my head. Let's see.
These touring schedules have gotten messed up about a lot of different things, though.
Yeah, it was a lot going on.
There's been a lot going on.
Let's go to some of these albums that we were talking about, these album matchups, before we get up out of here. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you this. Drill Music and Zion or Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers?
Drill Music and Zion.
I'm going Drill Music and Zion too.
So what would you rate Drill Music and Zion? That would be my question, because we need to start getting our review sheet together. And so how has it grown on you, or has it not?
It's growing on me, actually. I mean, I liked it from the jump, but it's one of those that sounds better more and more I listen to it too, because musically I like where he took it also. And obviously Lupe's always getting better and better as a lyricist. So I think kind of like what Shadé the artist said about Damn, I think it applies to Drill Music and Zion, where it's like Lupe kind of found that good mix of great lyricism and song making and palatable stuff.
So you think how would you rate it on a scale?
Oh man, it's difficult, man. I'm gonna have to, because I don't know where I'm rating Mr. Morale, and Mr. Morale is losing. Mr. Morale is losing steam with me. I listened to the album today, and I was doing a lot of skipping around, to be perfectly honest with you.
It's not there, Mike. The songs aren't there. The songs got to be there. That's what I mean. Okay, so I hate to bring him up. This is why I keep bringing R. Kelly up. It's like, no, motherfucker, that's part of the problem. The songs are there.
Yeah.
Like, the songs are there. The songs got to be there. You can't deny the songs. You can't deny it. Like Lupe, for the first time in a few years, in my opinion, well, the songs were there. And so I think that album is a 4.3.
I skipped Father Time. And not because it's, not crafted well. It's just I didn't want to hear it. I skipped.
It's a 3.5, Mike. It's a 3.5.
I skipped We Cry Together.
Because it's not that exciting. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a 3.5, Mike, and it's only a 3.5 because the writing is so high. If it wasn't for the writing, it would be a 3. Because
I got excited when Silent Hill came on.
Tell me what's exciting about this album other than Ghostface's verse.
I skipped that song too. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I did listen to when Silent Hill came on? I turned it up.
Silent Hill. Yep.
It's exciting. And Auntie's Diaries, as dope and well written as that record is, I skipped.
It's not exciting. No,
it's just not. I don't want to say exciting because it's just not. Listen, it's hip hop.
It's not edible.
Right.
It's not edible. It's not digestible.
Yeah.
It's not. And that's why I told you after listening to this album, I was like, man, I have a whole nother appreciation for whatever he was able to pull off on To Pimp a Butterfly, because these level of songs are so much palatable and digestible. And really all it did is it made me take those songs on To Pimp a Butterfly that I thought were like 4s and 4.25s and make them like 4.5s and 5s, because I'm like, man, he really connected more than I thought he connected, because to convey these messages on song and keep people entertained is hard. If you're part of the music business, you're part of the entertainment business, the excitement factor matters. You can't be boring people with all these topics and all this content.
Well, he
I'm
knows
gonna go
that.
back to Enter the Wu-Tang again, Mike. Shame on a nigga who tried to run game on a nigga.
But cool.
Went buck wild with the trigger. That shit works. It's gonna work forever.
Cool. He knows this. Have you seen his performance?
He knows this more than most people know this.
Have you seen his performances on stage? He does nothing but energetic stuff. You saw him at the Super Bowl. He knows his job is to entertain.
Damn is the evidence that he knows it, because I can go back and listen to Loyalty now. It's like, oh no, you know what you're doing.
Loyalty's great.
You know exactly what you're doing and how to deliver.
Clayton is asleep with the super chat, says Elephant Man Bones has my favorite production job this year. Cheat Codes is has great highs, but it isn't as consistently dope or as well structured in my opinion. Alchemist is on fire. Okay, let's go to the next one.
This is why we're breaking it down. So here's what I would tell you. I'd tell you the Lupe's a 4.3 to me and an album of the year contender, and the Kendrick's a 3.5.
Okay. Benny and Conway. You know what, man? I went back and listened to Tana Talk 4. I'm going to give Tana Talk 4 the edge.
I'm going to give it the edge, too. Here's what I would tell you. I know that Benny is probably winning this and not by much. I just gave Lupe a 4.3. Do you think that Tana Talk 4 is better than Lupe's album?
I'm going to have to go revisit that. Off top of my head, I say no.
I feel like they're the same for different reasons.
They're very similar. But if I had to pick one, I'm just going to give Lupe the lyrical edge.
But not by much, because Benny's performance...
No, not by much.
He's just not Lupe.
No, Lupe.
That's why I keep saying it's just like when people talk about, oh, well, the lyrical performance is great. Well, it's like, well, he's Lupe.
Yeah. CJ Kid with super chat says, Coop, don't forget Nas was on 4, 5, 6 top. So
that's life.
So 4 lyrical albums of 95.
I got guns from Italy, smoked trees considerably.
Yeah, 4, 5, 6 too. Yeah, he was on
that. Wow. A perpendicular angle of a clout war. Yeah.
Okay, so we're giving him that one over Conway. The game.
See, this is what I'm saying. I'm trying to get some ratings gauge too. That's why I'm asking you. It's like, you feel like the Lupe and the Benny are on the same level? Because I do. I feel like that's kind of like 4.3, but for a different reason.
I see somebody in the chat saying not entertaining. I could see that.
What's not entertaining?
Probably the Lupe. I think that's what he's referring to. I would say that Tana Talk 4 is more
entertaining than the previous two.
Yeah.
By far, without question. But here's what I would tell you is that if the Benny and the Lupe are the 4.3, what's the Conway? Because I feel like the Conway's only a step down. So I would say that's what I mean about parsing it out. Because
I think Conway is a solid 4.1-ish.
4.1? So you think there's a little bit of a gap between the Benny and the Conway. So if Benny's a 4.3, the Conway's like a 4.1. Is that fair?
I think that's fair.
I had Conway down at a 4.2, but I'm with you on the 4.1 because I don't. How about this?
It's just the memorable stuff, and I really think that the Jill Scott song had an opportunity to be that.
I think that's why he was upset because I'll tell you what, since we've been doing this podcast, this is the first album that he's dropped that I don't feel like there's a classic song on that deserves to be. Like, even on Lulu, Mike, he got Shoot Sideways with Schoolboy Q. There's no Shoot Sideways on here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know what I will give him? He took a whole different direction. I love he took a whole different direction.
He did, and the depth and the growth is beautiful, but it's like, I just got done listening to Jesus Crisis and Lemon and Hell on, and what's the mob shit that they took? The Havoc did the beat too?
Yeah. You talking about not Hell on Earth, but shit, it's gonna come to me in a second.
Juvenile Hell,
yeah.
It's like, no, you got shit on that like that. You got, and this is what I mean, even about the in-depth stuff. Like after Shay died, he did the Forever Drop in Tears. Like this album, content-wise, is more in that vein, but it doesn't hit you the way that hits you. Or Frontlines. It's like Frontlines was a great political commentary.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like he hit some marks on his previous projects when he was coming through that he didn't hit on this project. although he proved himself to be a better songwriter. This is what I mean. Like, gangsta shit does win on this level. Like, the Scarface that's on The Untouchable is a better MC and writer than the guy that's on The Diary. But it's not The Diary.
Yeah. Esquire with the super chat says JID has album of the year, all things considered, by far. CJ Kidd with the super chat says forget Nas was on Do or Die. So 5
95. I told you that 94 to 96 run's the best lyrical run ever. Yeah. Think about this. He's on Eye for an Eye. Mm-hmm. He's on Verbal Intercourse. He's on Fast Life. He's on More Money, More Murder, More Homicide. And you're telling me that there's a verse on Investigative Reports that didn't come out? That's what I like to call a real 5 for 5.
That's incredible.
That's incredible. That's his off year. That's the work that's being done between Illmatic. This is the stuff that he's working on after Illmatic while he's recording It Was Written. Mm-hmm. And I told you, Mike, Gimme Yours, I'm pretty certain that's where Biggie started singing. Gimme Yours is 95. Gimme Yours was all over the mixtape. Biggie's not singing before Gimme Yours. Gimme Yours had him singing.
When was Daydreaming?
Daydreaming is off the I Am bootleg, so that's after. That's literally 2-3 years after at least.
Niggas trying to get at me.
No, that's after. That's after Player Hater. 36. That's what I'm saying. When I'm hearing Player Hater now, and I'm hearing Biggie sing like some, I'm thinking about it. It's like that's Nas on Give Me Yours. Give me, just give me for the end. Give me what you can't get back. 4 to 5 boroughs. Yeah, that's Nas singing. That's 95.
36
Rap niggas singing
Chambers.
hooks for other niggas in 95?
You're right. Okay, it looks like 36 Chambers has cheat codes over No Fear of Time. Looks like he got No Fear of Time, then cheat codes, Drill Music and Zion, then The Forever Story, Food for Thought, top 5. In that order. So
that's a dope top 5.
I like it.
Part of why we're doing this list is trying to parse out who's what and where and where.
Yeah.
So let's go to the next one. Game and Pusha.
Hold on. CJ Kidd says Nas was on Street Fighter soundtrack, so 6 albums. Yeah. Okay, Pusha T in the Game. I think that one goes to It's Almost Dry. I listened to It's Almost Dry the other day, man. Mm-hmm. There's just records on there that just have no business being on that album.
Okay, no, before you go further, let's pause for a second because we have to be able to rate it properly. We got Lupe and Benny at a 4.3 right now. Is Pusha's album better than that?
No. And you know why? Because of the missteps. And the missteps are big. I know we said there's like 3 missteps, but...
Three borderline 4. Yep.
And but see, even some of the stuff that should have made
3 and a push. 3 and a push, Mike. Right. We got 3 push. We got 3 and a push.
But see, the thing is, man, it's like even the stuff that made it, I would say, how many great songs would you say is on that album? I'd say 2 or 3.
Mike,
no, I'm saying 4. I'm saying 4.
No, I've said this. If you're talking about great songs, Great, Brambleton, and Let the Smokers Shine the Coupe and Diet Coke are great.
Those are the 3 I was thinking. I actually like Hear Me Clearly a lot.
Malice is really, really good, almost great, and that's mostly because of Malice's performance, not because of the beat and because of Push. So he got 3 and a push on there. Neck and Wrist is dope. It's not great. So if you're talking about great, Brambleton, Let the Smokers Shine the Coupe, and Diet Coke are great.
Yeah. Mad Max and
this is what I would submit to you is that I don't know how many of those records would make his greatest hits. That's what I'm saying. If he were to do a greatest hits,
how many of those records would make it on Daytona?
That's what I mean.
And I know y'all hate we talk about Daytona all the time, but when you set a standard like that,
which you know.
How many records on there would have actually made it on Daytona?
No, we just named the songs that would have made it on Daytona.
I don't think Brambleton nor Let the Smoker Shine the Coupe makes it on Daytona. I
Yes, I
think
think. Oh,
Diet
how about
Coke
this?
might. Diet Coke
I
might be
think
the
I
only
think
song that has a
I
chance.
think Let the Smoker Shine the Coupe and Brambleton are better than Come Back Baby, and Let the Smoker Shine the Coupe and Santeria are on the same level to me.
Let the Smokers Shine the Coupe and Santeria. Okay,
Same level.
I can buy that.
Yeah.
I think
Like
Diet Coke.
if you were to swap them out, it's like, no, I'm cool with that. Or if you were to swap out Brambleton for we're not swapping out Brambleton for If You Know You Know or Hard Piano. We're not doing no shit like that. You feel me?
No. Mad Max in the super
Or
chat
the games
says
we play. Mike, you're right. You have very valid
it's
points.
hard, man. It's very tough.
It's hard. But that's Mike, that's the difference between a 5 and this 4.2 that I think we're about to give Push though. Because Daytona's a 5 and this is like a 4.2.
That's
right?
generous, man.
Hold
Because
on.
we
Is
know
it
what
better
this
than
guy
Benny's
can do.
Hold on. We got Benny at a 4.3. We got Conway at a 4.1. You don't think that it's better than Conway's album?
Maybe I'm being too hard on Pusha, but see, this is the thing.
Maybe.
We know
Because
what
I think
Pusha
it's better
can
than
do.
Conway's album now that I've gone back in retrospect.
What's the
to it song for song.
In your opinion, I mean, because it's crazy. Everybody's
All
saying,
my bluff is on there, Mike.
I feel you. The songs are the songs. But
right.
Pusha can
No, that's what I'm saying. The songs is where he's beating Conway's album.
I feel
Not
you.
even the bars.
I
the
feel
songs.
you. That's what I was going to say. We know Pusha for the bars. Ain't no quotables on here. Malice got the quotable on here.
I told you that the main problem that I had with this is like there's no rhyme of the year stuff on here except for Malice's verse.
And that's a problem.
Gives you no, it is because he's an upper echelon lyricist. So Conway's bars are better, but his songs aren't better. So is it the same rating?
Pusha pulls up and gets you a verse like So Appalled. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Pusha
Mike,
pulls up and gives you like that
dude.
verse on Maybach music that got cut. Like
Mike,
he's an individual verse guy, and we don't have those on this album. I think that's what this album's missing for me. And that's the problem.
You have to run it down for me.
I know. I'm doing it for the audience.
Okay, like okay, how about this? This is what I mean is that this album is very volume 2. Like, my problem with volume 2 is that it's like, where's that nigga that was rapping his ass off on Reasonable Doubt in volume 1? Like the nigga that was rapping his ass off.
That's
like
when Jay started dumbing down his flow.
Me when it's like he would spit some bars. Like it's like where it was like, oh no, he might be the best rapper right now, and Big and Nas are walking around, and Pac is walking around, and the way this guy is rapping makes you feel that way. Push has that capability and does not deliver. This album is about the songs because 8 out of the 12 songs are dope. 3 to 4 of those songs are great. How would you juxtapose that to Conway's performance? Because if you're saying it's not Lupe and Benny's level, well, how do you feel about the Conway album? Because I don't feel like Conway, although he gave us the lyrical and he gave us the content, well, he don't got no Diet Coke. Let the Smoker Shine the Coupe.
That's fair.
Or Brambleton.
That's fair. That's fair.
Or Neck and Wrist. The joint with Ross and Wayne and Neck and Wrist is like a tie. Neck and Wrist is like the 5th best song on here. That might be the 2nd best song on that album. John Woo Flick is one of the weaker Griselda cuts that we've heard in a while. Play John Woo Flick and then play Hell on Earth too.
I was disappointed when I heard John Woo Flick. Mad Max with the super chat says, my team was like a crutch to me. I used it for leverage. Tana Talks 4. Benny was talking on that album. Yeah, I mean, Benny got the bars.
We've already given Benny the nod, and we're not rating it as high. But what is the Push's album then? Because we got Conway at a 4.1. Is it that, or is it a step above? Because I would tell you it's a step above the Conway, but a step below the Benny and the Lupe. So I'd have it at a 4.2.
I'm with that. I think that's a good argument.
Okay, so it's a 4.2.
CJ Kid says, where do you guys rank the I Am OG double disc? To his second best album. Is that his second best album?
Yes, it is. I told you if the original format goes, Illmatic, it was written in the original version of I Am. In his catalog, it goes Illmatic, I Am. It was written. And then you get to the other stuff like Stillmatic, Godson, Life is Good, KD2. Magic is somewhere in that upper echelon conversation, in my opinion, too. So is KD2.
What a catalog.
But it's stupid if he releases the original version of I Am. If he releases the original version of I Am, it supersedes Rakim's run for the best 3 album start.
T Netty with the super chat says Malik and Hub died and Thought didn't have any content to talk about. Game did a whole song about Nipsey, his kids, and gang life. Where does creativity in cheat code? That's really interesting. I didn't think about that. And
what did he say? Let's break that up again. Let's read that again. I'm sorry.
I said Malik and Hub died and Thought didn't have any content to talk about it.
Identical deaths.
Game did a whole song about Nipsey and his kids and gang life. Where's the creativity in cheat codes?
First of all, you know, the Roots have addressed some of Malik's addiction while he was alive on record on some of their albums, so it might be a touchy place.
Yeah.
Because they might be feeling like if it were not for the drug and alcohol abuse, he would still be here. And so you might want to give them time to unpack those emotions, seeing how they literally grew up, came up, and became rich and famous with that guy, and he's not here anymore.
36 Chambers.
Like we gotta be human beings too, and it's like I don't know if I want to hear talk about Malik B yet. Maybe he hadn't had time to process it, and maybe he wants it to be organic and feel natural. Like one of the beautiful moments on the Dirty tape, on the Purple tape too, is Ason Jones, and think about how long Dirty's been gone before Ray spoke on it. It didn't change anything about it. He spoke when he was ready. Let him speak when they're ready.
36 Chambers with the super chat says it's almost dry, had the fat trimmed, and was the 7 best records and better sequence. It could have honestly been album of the year, no question. Brambleton, best intro this year.
I agree with the Brambleton being the best intro this year. I told you, Mike, he's bringing up the shit that's off the Lord Willing album on this. So he's feeling like, I don't care what anybody says. That interview did something to him because he's talking about shit that he's talking about on Lord Willing. He never goes back. Like, he's one of those artists that never retracts. He didn't just go back, Mike. He went back to the beginning.
KD says, y'all are violating Conway's album. That Jill Scott record was amazing. Got to give him credit for the tear gas. Lock and Load. It was crazy intro, too.
Okay, I love Lock and Load, but here's the reality of the matter, and people have brought it up. If we're going to, like, split hairs, he got Siegel on there, and it's Siegel, but the voice. And then it's like, why are you starting off an album with Siegel when you got Griselda and also when you're Conway? Nas starts off KD too with The Pressure and with Death Row East and with 40 Side. It's Nas, and then he gets into features. Great artist, all-time great artist, the way Conway wants to be held. If you want to be held by all-time great standards, don't start off your album with Beanie Siegel closing out your song and then go immediately into a song with Ross and Wayne. All due respect.
CJ Kidd with the $20 super chat. Appreciate that. Good looking. He said, which album showcase the dark and gritty, depressing soundscape of these albums the best, I guess? It's Dark and Hell is Hot, Marshall Mathers LP, Murder Was the Case, The Infamous, All We Got Is Us, The Diary of Machiavelli. OST. You know what? I'm going It's Dark and Hell is Hot or The Diary, but I'm leaning more towards Dark and Hell is Hot.
I was actually thinking, depending on how you feel and where you're from, those are the two that I thought of too. Yeah.
I mean, even when, man, it's so many moments on It's Dark and Hell is Hot. And the fact that he balanced it out with everything else that Def Jam needed to sell the record as well. You know, it's incredible.
No, it's a bunch of moments.
Nas the Goat with the super chat says, sorry, but Johnny P's Caddy was the best intro. Okay.
No, and I didn't love that he started his album off that way. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that hurt him too. Is that like, well, your first track might be the song of the year, but it's like, yeah, that's Cole, and Cole's a legend, and Cole blistered you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? To start your album off.
A little bit.
Like, Cole gave you a little bit of work to start your album off, nigga. It's like, nah. Like, for real talk, if Beans had his voice, Beans gave Conway a little bit of work to start his album off. It's like, I don't want to hear another nigga giving you work to start your album off.
Jay Short said, is Shay Noir lyricist of the year? I feel she had a Scarface quality to go between the street and spiritual seamlessly without sounding like a contradiction. I think that's a very astute assessment.
Describe that.
Yeah.
I have to be honest with you. Although lyrically, everything that he's saying is on point, what I would submit to you is just like Scarface. This is a lot of the things that kept Scarface winning lyricists of the year in years where he dropped stuff like The Diary. It's like, well, Big made Ready to Die and Nas made Illmatic, and they're more lyrically inclined and know how to express some of the struggle, even if it doesn't hit you the way the face hits you. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so what I think she really is a victim of more than anything else is she a contender for lyricist of the year? Well, yes, she is. But goddamn it, J. Cole is out here. You know what I'm saying?
I would give her the nod for lyricist of the year over Cole because she got a project. You know what I mean?
Well, I was about to say, first, this year's not over. That's what I was about to say. Well, J. Cole and Freddie Gibbs are here, and they haven't released project.
Right.
Benny is...
Freddie's coming. You know that, right?
And Freddie's SSS is coming. Benny is here. Nas is about to drop KD3. Black Thought just dropped his best solo project. Lupe just dropped his best solo project in quite some time, in my opinion. So it's like... Is it appropriate to put her in the conversation? Yeah. Is it a bad year? Probably. Because how about this? Mike, I can't think of a year where Lupe and Nas and Black Thought were all impressive at the same damn time in the same year.
It's very tough.
That alone's enough to keep her out of Lyricist of the Year. Lupe, Nas, and Thought are all dope at the same time.
Yeah, it's crazy. LP with the super chat says, Thought should have spoken on Jaguar rights accusations.
What did she say?
You don't know what? Jaguar Wright said all kind of stuff. You know what? I think Jaguar Wright and Azalea Banks need a podcast.
Is it like that? She said that type of stuff?
Yes, a lot. You need to go. You need to go on YouTube and go down a rabbit hole. 36 Chambers with the super chat says, audio cutting in and out a lot. Chat sees it too. Is the audio cutting in and out? Y'all don't hear us well?
Sorry about that. I can't do
it. I mean, I hear you pretty well. I don't know if anything.
Yeah, we've been hearing each other fine. This is one of our more seamless podcasts.
Well, I mean, I told you, man, the internet's super strong over here at the undisclosed location. CJ Kid with the super chat says, thought you guys would have went with the Infamous, just on how scary these beats were. I think I'm going with more of the content. But the Infamous doesn't have the depth that It's Dark and Hell is Hotter, The Diary. It doesn't have the personal touch. It has a street view. You're
it's
right.
that Project Window talk.
I mean, because when you got stuff like Damien and, you know, what was that?
Never Seen a Man Die.
Yeah. Oh, man. Jesus.
Think about this. Like, It's Dark and Hell is Hot and The Diary are comparable, too. Think about How's It Going Down and Going Down. Aren't those comparable records? It's the same thing. It's the same hood love shit.
I love The Prayer, man. And, yeah, DMX hits you on a whole different level.
I love Jesse James. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
White Sheet. No Tears. I lost more homies than the motherfucking Bengals lost games last year. It's like, damn, the Bengals went like 2-14 that year. How many niggas died in Southside Houston?
All right. Cheat codes, No Fear of Time. I'm going No Fear of Time. But I think these could be number 1 and 2, honestly.
And it probably is 1 and 2. And I'm not comfortable with this. Is my problem. How about this? These 2 albums are my problem with the year because neither one of these albums are definitively classic to me by any means. But we're approaching the fall, and they appear to be the 2 best albums this year. I'm not even going to want to get into the Thought and Black Star thing. My whole thing is that how would you rate them? That's all I want to know.
I know this is going to sound crazy. I'm going to go 4. I'm going to go 4.8.
For what?
Black Star.
Okay.
What were you thinking?
I'm literally going for these albums respectively. 4.5 for Thought, 4.6 for Black Star.
Okay. All right. I know initially we gave it a 5, so I'm sitting here like 4.7, 4.8.
To be honest with you, I want to give both of them a 4.5. Truthfully.
I just feel like No Fear of Time is just better than Cheat Codes. Like, I feel you.
I feel that it's better too. That's why I'm cool with the 4.6. But what I would tell you about our sentiments, and I thought about that, we have no fucking evidence.
Nobody's heard it. Inside. This is such a weird album.
No, there's no evidence, Mike.
Such a weird album. We can't even talk to the people about it.
We can't. And so many people haven't heard it. And I think, how about this? This is one of those albums where I think as journalists and music reviewers and critics, we were trying to project. But if we're just being arbitrary about the music in a vacuum or like lightning striking, it's a 4.5, just like Cheat Codes is. And right now our albums of the year are 4.5. Because what I would tell you is that nothing excites me on No Fear of Time like No Gold Teeth, Aquamarine, and Strangers.
That's fine. You know, and I think even the high
And the
moment,
best thought, hold on. And how about the best verse on Black Star's album? Might be Black Thought's verse.
I'm going Yonders, but you know.
You can go Yonders, but the conversation is between Thought's verse and Yassine's verse on Yonders. So just the fact that it's a conversation and we have to compare you to the other dude's album, and that dude is spazzing like that on No Gold Teeth and Aquamarine without help.
I think Thought wants it more.
4.5s for both of them. And so embarrassed that these are the albums of the year so far, quite frankly. I'm more impressed with what Thought did because Thought did it by himself.
I think Earth Gang has something to say about it. Jay Short with the super chat says, "Where's J. Cole's championships and MVPs?"
Valid questions.
It is.
Let's
valid.
move to the next
LP
one.
with the
I got them
super
both
chat.
at 4.5 right now. You say 4.8 for Black Star?
I'll say 6, 7-ish. I give it more than 4.5.
I'll give you the 4.6 because I feel like it's end to end better than the Thought, even though Thought's high points are better. And I feel like it's more inventive and creative.
LP with the super chat says, she spoke on things that make these conscious cats look like hypocrites. Coop, wait till you read up on it. You're gonna double down on your street
I'm
rap.
about to say I almost don't want to read it because she's about to tell me shit that I already know. Right.
Nah, man, Jaguar Wright got all kind of new information.
These conscious dudes are from the same streets that the gangster dudes is from. How do you think these guys are really behind the scenes? Okay.
So you're saying it's an image. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's saying it's the same dude. Like, how about this? These niggas smoking the same weed. They fucking the same broads. They on the same rap tour. They making the same money. You thinking that these dudes is different. They not. Styles P and Talib Kweli did a whole album together, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now Styles the type of nigga that'll fucking throw a chair at a nigga like Puff and motherfucking stand down against a fucking police officer in broad daylight in Yonkers and not be afraid. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, no, Talib made an album with that guy. Don't tell me that he's that conscious. It's like, you feel me?
Nas the GOAT said he hadn't heard the Black Star album yet, so he can't rank it.
Very problematic.
Currency and Alchemist, and Rock Marciano and Alchemist.
Yeah. I was going to go somewhere else with that pairing, and then I thought it's like, well, no, Alchemist has done 2 dope projects this year with 2 dope artists. You know what I hear when I hear this?
I'm going to go with Currency and Alchemist.
I am too, but you want to know what I really hear, Mike?
What's up?
I think Alfredo might be the best rap album of this era. Because Alfredo is so much better than these 2 albums. It's ridiculous. That's what I thought about when I was comparing these 2 albums. It's like, man,
it really is.
Alfredo got both of these albums beat by like track 5.
It does.
It does. Alfredo might be better than Magic and Pray for Paris in terms of how it's holding up. Don't Scotty Beam hold up? Don't 1985?
Frank
God
Lucas,
is Perfect. Babies and Fools. Baby Shit. Frank Lucas.
It does.
Skinny Suge. All Glass is crazy. That's a crazy ending.
Esquire with the super chat says, the way y'all rate Cole all time at the moment reminds me of how Heads ranked LeBron in 2012. Now he's top 3 and damn near no on everyone's list.
First of all, LeBron's only top whatever about accomplishments and longevity.
You don't have Kobe. LeBron on top 3?
Like, how about this? I have Kobe and Shaq behind LeBron. Take Kobe and Shaq every time over LeBron if I'm picking.
Really?
But I understand what he is and what he's done. Oh, fuck yeah. Mike, have you seen Shaq's finals numbers? Hell yeah, I'm taking Shaq over LeBron.
No, I ain't talking about Shaq. I'm talking about Kobe.
Oh, yeah, I'm taking Kobe, too. Kobe's a killer.
He is.
I like killers, Mike.
He is.
I like people who kill. No. Kobe is a killer.
I mean, Shaq is Shaq. Whatever. I ain't even tripping on the Shaq thing. I think with LeBron and Kobe, I think LeBron
We
and
don't
Kobe,
care.
it depends on what you got. You know what I mean?
Actually, here's the thing about it, though. This is what I'm trying to say is that, well, really, the only thing LeBron has really been better than Kobe at is rebounding and assisting. It's like, well, give me a small forward and a point guard and give me fucking Kobe. Because Kobe's a better shooter, a better closer, better free throw shooter, mid-range shooter, three-point shooter. I'm going to say this again.
What about
He's
defender?
a better
What about
closer,
defender?
Closer.
What about defender?
Closer.
What about defender?
Close. Huh?
What about defender?
Wash, and I think Kobe on ball is a better.
It's not a
no. Kobe on ball. No, Kobe on ball in his prime is a better on ball defender than LeBron in his prime. I watched Melo and Wade bust LeBron's ass in his prime. I watched Kobe shut Iverson down, hold Tracy McGrady to a minimum. Okay. No. Wade and Carmelo was out there busting LeBron's ass, and Kobe was busting LeBron's ass too. By the way,
Kobe's great. Now to go with the super chat
Kobe's
says
better pound for pound, but not all time.
He said I got I'm sorry. Drill Music in Zion, Cheat Codes, Shay Noir, JID, and Joey. Forgot about Joey's album. Wasn't a big fan of it. And I love Joey. You want to know what?
We might have our pairing wrong. I might have needed to put the Vince and the Joey together instead of the Lloyd Banks. That's what I messed up.
Yeah.
It needs to be Vince and Joey getting paired off. Hold on, real quick. What do you rate that Currency, though? Because it was the album of the year when it first came out.
I got to go back and listen to that one again. It's been a minute to give a truthful answer. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and listen. What did you give it?
I think that it's kind of when I listened to it, I thought that and the Conway were very comparable. And so I have it at a 4.1. And that would and I'm with you. I think the Currency is better than the Rock Marcy and Alchemist, which would make that a 4, maybe a 3.9.
36 Chambers with the super chat says Cole's guest verses this year alone are better than most bars from everyone else. If he drops an album like this, it would be album of the year and lyricist of the year.
You want to know what? Actually, Mike, I'm going to be hard on it, and a lot of it is because of the hype around it. This Rock Marciano and Alchemist should have been better. I'm going to give it a 3.9. I'm not going to give it a 4.
Okay. T Nitty with the super chat says, "To Be Forgotten is the second to death. Nobody talks about Malik when we talk about the best Philly MCs, and Malik wasn't too far off from Thought. So yeah, you wanted to see them pay homage.
I told you on Philadelphia Half-Life. On Philadelphia Half-Life, there's a couple tracks where he got Thought. Like on Respond and React and No Pretender, he's right there. And if you felt like he had the better verses, yes.
Yeah.
It's not until, how about this? On Things Fall Apart is where Thought starts ascending into all-time status. He was like all-time for his era status, but Malik could still rhyme with him. No. The guy that exists on Things Fall Apart and Phrenology, It's like, no.
Things Fall Apart was the separator for me, too.
Things Fall Apart's the separator. But also, too, but this is what I'm saying. Well, that's when their fame happened. And thereby his addiction and abuse got greater because there's more money to go around. And so it's like you don't know. Because that's the guy that's ripping shit with him on 100% Dundee. Mm-hmm. Malik has that second verse on 100% Dundee. I told you that shit is exciting.
Mm-hmm. Jay Short with the super chat says, does Gibbs have something to prove? You guys haven't mentioned his upcoming album. I feel like he needs a great album that isn't a collaborative production album. That is true. Because he has Madlib, Alchemist, and, again, you don't want to fault people for having great things at their disposal, but...
No, that's a valid point. His two best albums are Bandana and Alfredo.
Yeah.
That's Madlib and Alchemist.
Yeah. And, Madlib just did what I think is album of the year. Alchemist pretty much did everything else that has been album of the year the past couple years. You know what I mean? Like
it's not Nas related. It feels like if it's not Nas or Griselda related, then Alchemist did it, and even the shit that's Griselda related, Alchemist has had his hands
exactly. On. So it's like, but again, I think that also says a lot about Gibbs as an MC is the fact that these great producers want to fuck with him like that.
No, I there's something. Listen to what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
If Alchemist is a top 5 producer, I told you when I heard Alfredo, I was like, this might be his best production job.
It's a great record. Great record. Hassan Sykes with the super chat says, who has a better chemistry in 95, Ghost and Ray or Crazy and Busy Bone? You know,
Nobody's
listen,
better than Ghost and Ray in '95.
this is what I'm gonna say about Crazy and Busy
What are we
Bone. It's funny you
talking
say
about?
that because I've been listening to Bone all day. I think that Crazy and Busy were just the stars of Bone, and I think
That's
that
it. All right,
they
they're just
didn't
the
really,
stars.
they
They're not
didn't
even the best
have
rappers.
chemistry.
Lazy's the best rapper.
You think so? I disagree with that. But what I was gonna
Lazy's the best
say is,
rapper. Actual rapper. Lazy's the best rapper.
I don't think Busy and Crazy had chemistry at all. I think that they worked through the fact that they didn't have chemistry. You know, I think they were
No,
just the two stars of the group, and we
they have the
loved
best
hearing them
voices,
together.
and they're the stars. Yeah.
Yeah. They,
Yeah.
it's and I said that thing about Quavo and Q-Tip, and I kind of glossed over it. I know RZA's a great group leader, but he's not the star in the group, and he's not the front man in that group. He did a whole lot for that group, and he's the foundation of that group, but he's not the star of Wu-Tang by far. Same thing with Bone. I think that Lazy is the leader of the group, but he's not the star of the group.
And that's crazy to me because he is the best MC.
That's crazy that you say that. I've never heard anybody say that. And I like Lazy. I think Lazy's the glue. I think that Lazy's one of those guys where he'll set the song off. I mean, he's the first
person. On some rap shit, he's the best MC.
He's the first person on Thuggish
This is why voices matter in hip hop so much. Crazy and Busy have better voice.
They got better flow than him too. I think Busy is probably the best lyricist.
No, I think Crazy definitely has a better flow. I think Busy's flow sometimes is underrated. I mean, overrated.
I think Crazy's flow is one of the best.
No, not Crazy. Crazy's flow is one of the best flows ever. Busy's flow is sometimes overrated. Lazy's flow is sometimes underrated. But he's the best MC, like bar shit. Like, not fly shit, not star shit, not voice shit, bars.
Okay.
Lazy's the best with the bars.
I disagree with that, but I like it.
You think it's Busy, don't you?
Because I think it's Crazy.
Crazy don't have the best bars, Mike. He's got the best voice. It's not even close. It's the voice, Mike.
Well,
it's the voice and the flow.
He's got
the
storytelling
best voice
records
and the best flow.
Yeah. Who is this at the door?
You're getting Biggie. You're getting Biggie by Bone.
Yeah.
He's got the best voice and the best flow. So you're like, oh, he raps better than Nas. It's like, no. Just the voice and just the flow. Lyrically, not better. Yeah.
I got to get out of this undisclosed location in a second. Not that I got to go. I want to see who's at the door.
So let's wrap this up. We got JID and Earth Gang.
JID and Earth Gang. Okay.
Now, here's what I'll tell you. If Black Thought is a 4.5 and Black Star is a 4.6, I'm going to have to give that Earth Gang a 4.5 right there with the Thought. And if you wanted to give it a 4.6 and say it was the album of the year, I wouldn't argue with you. Listening to JID's album made me appreciate the Earth Gang album more for how well they crafted it from beginning to end.
I agree.
Without any dips. Mm-hmm. The lyricism is there. The beats are there. The songs are there. Song of the year material is there with Strong Friend.
Straight up.
So it's checking a lot of boxes.
And when we did the Patreon, when we went through the JID album, you're right. I mean, there are missteps there. And those missteps didn't happen with Earth Gang's album.
But here's what I would tell you, because here's what I was thinking when we were talking about it. I think the Earth Gang is actually the one that probably should be sitting right next to the Black Star for album of the year. Because what I would tell you is that if Lupe and Benny are 4.3, I still think JID's album is a little bit better than both of those, and I would give it a 4.4.
Okay.
You feel me?
I feel you. Yeah.
Don't you think JID's album is better than Lupe's album and Benny's album? Like, honestly?
I do, even with the missteps. I mean, even he put a lot into it.
Yeah. Like, when we talked about the missteps,
seminal effort.
We talked about...
Yeah, I think it's his seminal effort.
Right. We talked about the missteps from the perspective of is like, well, if you don't have these missteps, you clearly have the album of the year. Right. Like, as in that outro that we heard that didn't get clear because of samples. Mm-hmm. Oh, that takes this from 4.4 to 4.5. A couple of trimming of the fat. And it's like, oh no, this is at a 4.7 and a 4.8, ahead of Earth Gang, ahead of Black Star, ahead of Black Thought. But right now, we'll just put it right behind at a 4.4. So it would be right now, based on where we have it, it would be in fourth place after Black Star, Earth Gang, and Black Thought.
Okay.
And I think that's fair.
Okay, and we'll pick this up because again, I got to get up out of here.
Hold on. I think we should do. Can we do one more before we go? Because I think this is the last one that's the album of the year contender, and that's the Ransom and the Che Noir.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Ransom and Che Noir.
What do you say? Because I think these are the main album of the year contenders, like the Meth and the Czarface, Lotto, Megan, KRS Fife, Vince Banks, Logic and Paul Wall, Shay and Dreamville. None of those are going to win album of the year. The Ransom and the Che Noir were album of the year contenders.
I'm going Che Noir 4-4, and I would go 4-3 with Ransom.
Okay. I think that the Ransom, I'm with you on the 4-3 on Ransom, because that puts him right there with where the Lupe and the Benny is at, which is kind of where I feel like that album is at. But what I would tell you is I think that Che Noir is more consistent than that JID and the Black Thought, but not as lyrically astounding. It doesn't have the high moments of the Black Thought, but I would give it the same rating. I think the Che's a 4.5. I think it's slightly better than the JID because from beginning to end, it's consistent. There's no lulls.
I'm fine with that.
So right now, just real quick before we get out of here, album of the year, I believe we have a fight between duos. We have an East Coast duo and a Southern duo fight for album of the year. Black Star and Earth Gang have 4.6s. So we got the old and the new, the East Coast and the South. They got 4.6s. Black Thought and Che Noir have 4.5s. And JID is rounding out our top 5 with a 4.4. So in order, I would probably say what? Black Star, Earth Gang,
Cheat code.
Black Thought, Che Noir, JID. Top 5 right now.
I think that's fair.
But also, too, I think that's the weakest top 5 we maybe have had so far.
That's crazy. Been some strong years. Hassan Sykes
we had
with the Super Chat.
Paris and Alfredo on the same sheet. We had KD2 and Magic on the same sheet.
Hassan Sykes with the Super Chat says, y'all need to go back and establish 1999. I'm sorry, to East 1999. I'm sorry. Most of the songs Crazy and Busy go back and forth with each other. The timing when they come in and go out is amazing. I mean, they did.
Now, he's right. No, I remember that album very well because Six played it.
I was listening to that album today. I would say Die, 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 right? That's where it's just them two. But even on that album, Lazy is the glue. Every song that Lazy's on, it works. Like Christopher, because he's on all the songs, but he's in key points. Christopher Hogan with the Super Chat says, Freddie has a great catalog since 2012. He really does. If we want to talk about best catalogs of the past 10 years.
Hold on. Bandana and Alfredo is just superior to all the other stuff, Mike. It is.
He's consistent as hell.
He is. He's one of those guys. How about this? He's one of those guys that started off making 3.5s, and then his 3.5s turned into 4s, and then his 4s turned into 4.5s, and then he started making like 5 shit the last few years. But also, too, we ain't heard Alfredo. People have to understand this. It's been 2.5 years since we heard a Gibbs album. Alfredo came out when we started this podcast, which was 2.5 years ago.
It's real.
Alfredo came out in April of 2020.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. SSS. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I hope Black Illuminati with Kisses on there. You can still bang that.
It should be. All right, well, let me get up out of here, man. Y'all have a great weekend. I got to get out of this undisclosed location. I got to get some food. I haven't eaten anything all day, bro.
Oh, no.
Y'all can see.
You see what I was doing when you was like, I can't see you, Cooper's like, no, I had to eat something right quick. We're going to be on here for a minute. Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to holler at y'all, man. Great show.
All right, bet.